I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right.
Hey.
Live. I think we're live, hopefully.
I just shared it.
Okay. Well, I just don't know if there's... Yeah, cool. We got sound. Cool. Welcome to 10 Drink Minimum. I am Chris.
Hey guys, I'm Billy.
Cool. Who else is here?
I'm Holly.
Yay.
James Smiley.
And returning in the studio, one of our favorite guests that we've ever had, little Matty Simonds from Broken Trail Brewing and Distilling.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Doctor.
Doctor.
That's funny. So welcome back, Matt. How's things gone?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Not too bad. Drinking, making booze for a living.
Oh, so living the dream.
Everybody's dream, right?
Everybody's
Everybody's
dream.
dream.
That's a humble way of saying, like, hell yeah, shit's going great. Like, let's just say things are fine.
It was a humble brag.
I wake up, I make booze, and then I go home, and then I repeat.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't suck.
Well, I have a little question about that. It's like sometimes people are like, you know, you make your hobby your job, then all of a sudden you don't like it anymore. Is that true? Is that a true statement?
I told you that today is my first day of sobriety, right?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I hate drinking. I hate booze. I hate everything to do
Oh,
with
man.
it.
That's funny.
It definitely the charm and shine of brewing and distilling wears off, but I'm still having fun.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this is your first time being here since Holly's joined the show.
Yes. Hello, Matt.
Nice to meet you, Holly.
Nice to meet you.
So yeah, that's cool. So yay!
Yay!
So
New friends.
Do you think that brewing, like home brewing, is bigger now that there are more breweries, or now there are like a lot of breweries, people don't necessarily need to do that?
Well, no,
anymore?
because all the home brewers opened up a brewery.
Oh, yes, that's
That's
fair.
why we have 60-some breweries.
Oh yeah.
And then all the other ones got hired by the...
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be a brewer. Can I be assistant?
How many breweries do we have now? Do you know?
I don't. I lost. Yeah.
It's to the point where like people are like, hey, have you tried this one? And you're like, that's like 4 miles from my house, and I don't have to go that far.
There are something like 60 breweries and tap rooms just in Albuquerque.
Just in Albuquerque
Just in
alone.
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I went to 2 yesterday.
Wow.
I've never been to. I've never heard of.
I drove by one the other this morning, and I was like, "Holy fuck! There's a brewery right there." Differential. We were talking about that.
Differential. That's actually like our friend sitting over here, Shelby. She lives like right there. And
So do I.
so
I'm
James
there
and-
all the time, yeah.
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 How can I say no to a block and a half from my house?
Right.
The answer is I can't.
And from Shelby's house, it's literally a 45-second
Yeah.
walk. So
45 if you're drunk.
yeah.
I forgot. Is it? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. You just lean forward and just go. Try not to fall down.
You went to Toltec, right?
Yeah, Toltec.
They have a female brewer. I met her the
Oh,
other
really?
night, and
It's
she
good.
is amazing.
Oh,
She
is the old brewer from Canteen.
not Canteen.
Oh.
She was at Nexus.
Nexus.
Yep.
Sorry, that's what it was. Yeah.
And
Amanda.
Yes.
Not Amanda. Yes, Amanda.
No, Amanda might be the assistant brewer.
Oh.
Amanda is the one who used to work at Monk's.
Oh, no,
freaking.
I saw her. Yeah.
I just met her the
We're
other
not
night,
live,
and
right?
I just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Edit
we're
this
live.
Awkward part out.
Well, we can.
Shit.
but
I made that
We
real
don't.
awkward, because I think I said
Ever.
the wrong name.
Whoops. That's
Whoops.
okay.
I met her while I was playing pool at Anodyne. I was a little drunk.
It's like, oh my
What?
god! All
What?
the, somebody from Toltec is like, oh my god, Tendrick is like throwing shade at us.
No, they're amazing.
They were good.
Good food, good beer. That's
It
what I
was good.
said.
Oh,
Yeah,
she, whoever she is, and this is, I'm such an asshole. One of the better brewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her beer at Nexus was solid.
She won some awards, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you brought some beer. What do we got here?
So this is our Fred Belgian triple.
Fred's Belgian.
Fred Belgian.
Did Fred put his balls in this?
This is actually Fred's ball sack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. I love balls.
I do too.
Ball beer.
Yeah, this tastes familiar, doesn't it?
I don't think it smells funky.
There's a funkiness on the nose.
Everybody's like, Chris is an asshole. like no one brings anything up, and he's like, I don't think it smells bad. Like, I don't know.
wow, Matt, your beer smells surprisingly good.
I don't think this tastes bad at all.
That's like when we go out and you'll just be like, well, I like it.
I like it.
And then he makes it seem like we all hate it.
The best recent one is I was at Hollow Spirits, and the bartender came over, and she's like, here's your drink, and I was like, hey, I think you're doing a great job. She's like, she goes, what the hell? And I laughed. I was like, oh my gosh.
To know Chris is to love Chris.
Yeah. Hold on, go ahead and talk. I got it.
So there's kind of a running joke between me and Chris, because for some reason people who watch the podcast think Chris and I hate each other.
That was my first impression.
Yeah,
Chris swore and he's like, no, she's not that bad.
I don't think she's terrible.
I don't hate her. It's just because so I'm a stand-up comedian and Chris is
Not funny.
Chris,
not funny
and
at
we like to take jabs at each other sometimes. And that's how we show our affection.
Yeah. Oh.
But I got 3 messages this week asking if you hate me.
Cool.
And I was like, no.
Like, really?
Yes, really. It happens like every week. People are like, do you and Chris even like each
That's
other?
because when she turns her face, I'm all...
Good to know.
Behind the green screen, it's like, fuck her.
Yeah, we don't know what's
Just a
behind us.
switch.
Like, before each show, there's a picture. He's all just him behind you the whole time, flipping you off
like,
in the
fuck
green
you.
screen.
Fuck you, Holly.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny.
God.
Wow.
But that was
You
really
guys are all
close.
fired.
Hey, I didn't do anything.
Talking about that.
I was like, I'm not fired.
No. I was directing it this way.
Oh.
Matt's fired. You're fired.
Shit. What's good seeing you guys?
I mean, so I forgot to switch on one of the lights because I had them off because I set up way too early. So I'm like asking them to switch on the light, which is the switch. They're like turning all the knobs, and then they go over there and turn it on, and then it falls. So I'm like, it's just a switch. It's like, I need to hire some of those movie people.
I love these
You
new
can just
lights.
ask me. I know how they work.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I've never seen these before.
I love these new lights, though.
They are pretty fancy,
They make us look great.
They do.
except for Matt.
Well, I'm just, where's the makeup division? Because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bullshit.
We fired her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest
Long time ago.
problems about being on camera.
Yeah.
Kendrick Nation, if you were wondering what Billy looks like, well, I look really shiny.
Almost split me all over my face. I did not expect that. I didn't
And
expect
the bald
shiny.
head. The thing is, it doesn't show how much hair, because there's some hair left on my head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the HD camera doesn't pick up any of it. So it looks like
Okay.
I look like the Navajo, like, Kimbo slice.
So I'm still learning like the lighting techniques, right? So I'm watching this video on like how to light up a scene, and there's the main light, there's the fill light, and then there's the hair light, and the hair light's supposed to go over and like shine on your head. And the whole time I'm watching this video, I'm like, dude, you should turn that one off, bro. Because they made it to where like he has hair like yours, and you can just see all the little follicles.
Yeah.
And I was like, eee. And he's all, let's just turn on just the hair light. I was like,
No, you're supposed to hair light with people that have hair.
right? He did not. I was like,
He did not have enough hair to have a hair light.
Yes.
And so I'm like, nope, get me off camera.
Yeah. Oh man. So what's been going on with Broken Trail? Like what's changed? What's different?
Well, God, it's been damn near a year since I've been over on the show, so we've had a couple things happen since then. Probably the biggest is that we're no longer operating our tap room at the main location.
The original location.
The original
right?
location. We closed the bar down, which sounds really shitty, but it's a fantastic thing. We've been production's been going so crazy that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we needed all that space for our canning line and storage. If you drive by, there's 10 Connex boxes in the parking lot filled with raw ingredients and product. And
I'll do a
incoming and
drive-by, don't
outgoing.
worry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I'll do a drive-by.
Hey Matt, break those sell.
I was gonna say I could just see us just knocking on the door. Let us in.
I was thinking more like open up the door and Go, hop the fence.
Yes. Run.
Open that back door. Roll them kegs. Roll them kegs.
Oh man.
In fact, the production's been going so crazy. We're looking at moving locations here.
Really?
Yeah.
The canning area and everything.
The whole mothership location.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna go?
We've got a couple things in mind. One of them is actually right down the street. So.
From here?
Wow.
Oh, you can't do that.
I know we were a long commute to begin with.
Yeah.
No, we've got a
Matt,
official announcement coming soon. But
I'll be dead, Matt. You're gonna kill me.
I know.
I'll be all Matt. I'm all. What are you doing? Matt will be like, "Go check this shit out." And I'll be like,
No, there's like a whole separate office
Yeah.
that's going to be set aside for the 10 Drink studio.
"Oh Jesus."
Oh, what? Yeah,
I mean,
he is trying to kill us.
That's
Yeah.
we're
It's
all
official.
gonna
If
die.
If you really did that, we would totally do that shit. We'd have a studio.
We would have a podcast every day.
Yeah.
Right? What are you guys doing here at 2 a.m? Shut up! It's a podcast.
We're podcasting.
We met
duh.
this guy's show. We're making a podcast. All right, after he's good. We want to talk to him.
So that's been offered to like. It always cracks me up because like that's been offered to us, not that specifically, but not like a studio where we could do our own show, but like. That's been offered to us where come here and do your show every week from this location. And all I can think about when I hear that is, ugh. No.
I don't think people know how hard Chris Burnett works when we go on location. It is intense.
What's I think exciting for me is I kind of got to see the evolution of that because it used to be. I mean, and both of us kind of followed this similar trajectory. Where we'd be like, "Hey, Chris, come over to the brewery," and like Chris would be like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I want to come over to the brewery and do this podcast," and be like, "Yeah." And then over the course of 6 months, it's like, "All right, I'm just tired."
We're tired, man.
And
I'll tell you, Matt.
the work and effort that goes into setting it up, it's not a.
But I've really streamlined it a lot.
Yeah.
Even though he streamlined it really well, but we still have to get there 2 hours early.
Oh yeah.
I just make, and we don't, but I just
Right.
make sure.
It's fair. I would probably do the same thing. I was like, we're getting.
Oh, you know better. Like, if anyone knows, you do.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times from the art bar days, we'd get there. First of all, we would be like, Mach 2 hungover. I had to stop at Circle K to get a 4-hour like energy to just make it through the show.
You used to get those
then
a
we'd
lot.
get there. And then I'd be like, you got to go back to the house and get this cable. And it was like, fuck.
Or we'd have
We
to
have a
wait.
great internet connection.
Oh.
We won't talk about that.
We don't like to talk about that. It stresses us out. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh, yeah. So, I have some, I don't know if it's downer stuff, but man, some guy, so Thursday night, go downtown. This is, this is kind of me like getting up on the soapbox for the people who live in my area of town.
Yeah.
And this is bullshit. So, me and my friend, we go to happy hour on Thursdays, my old work crew and stuff. So then, if we get a little too much, then we're like, all right, let's go to the next place. You have too many beers. So we went to Founders, and then they had goth night at Sister Bar. So we get there, we walk in, and we're getting drinks, and then all of a sudden you hear like sirens and stuff, and cops are showing up. Right out in front of Anodyne, this guy got stabbed.
I heard about that.
While we were in Sister Bar. And, it was a bad drug deal. That's, that stuff happens. That's, people are like Albuquerque. I'm like, that happens in Detroit. That happens in,
It's Detroit,
Shreveport,
Chicago, all those really.
But what really pissed me off,
I don't know what you're talking about.
what really pissed me off is the people that were in line to get in, and they're like, yeah, did you see that? The knife went right in, man. I totally saw that shit, man. That was crazy. And they're just bragging about, like, how they watched this dude get stabbed, like, a couple minutes before. And in my mind, I'm like, why don't you fucking get your ass out of line, go stand over there and wait for the police so you can tell them what you saw, and not brag about it in the sister line as you go into goth night for the night to go hook up with some chicks. Blew my mind.
That's
I was,
awful.
absolutely just like floored. I was like, people are bragging about how they saw the dude get stabbed. I was like, holy shit, man, that's crazy. So, this is like our community. And if you, and we bitch about crime, but if you allow that kind of shit to happen and you just accept it and you just go, I saw it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
and you just walk in and do nothing about it, nothing will happen. You know, that kind of pissed me off.
I saw a lot of posts on Facebook about it, and I was like, why are you posting on Facebook about this?
Right.
Like,
yeah. And they're like, well, it was some homeless guy and it was a drug deal. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It was a human being, man.
yeah, it doesn't matter
You
if
know?
they're homeless; they're still.
Yeah, it was crazy.
person.
I was just blown away by, and we joke sometimes about like, how Albuquerque is really hard and all that. And it is, but I mean, we don't, there's only one way to fix, the crime part of it. And, we can't just go, we got to get more cops. Because when we get more cops, then we're like, cops are too tough.
Yeah.
Right.
It goes one way or the other,
That's awful.
And Smiley, I don't know if you share this being a former paramedic as
paramedic,
well,
yeah.
but like, of course you posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really?
No.
Oh.
Like,
I was like, oh.
the coping mechanism.
Are you there taking a selfie with the guy?
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, that was really cool. I wish I saw it enter in his body easily.
Jesus, Matt.
Oh, God. I was like, am I being a square right now?
Well, no, there are actually sometimes when you are disassociated enough on duty
and
when you're like, wow, that's really, how do you manage that?
Right.
Well, and I can see that.
The point I think you're making is well taken. Like,
Yeah.
don't be standing in line. Like, you're more worried about your line. But
Yeah.
but there is kind of this weird.
You get desensitized to it,
Yeah,
of course.
well, it's not even the desensitization. Like, it's such a weird thing to see a knife enter into somebody's body that you're just like, well, that's obviously not real. So,
Oh, yeah.
So my brain is not.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is
Yeah.
not processing this correctly.
Yeah.
And then there's the fucked up paramedic humor.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Waking the Dead. That's an old reference.
I guess that kind of leads into one of the things I wanted to talk about.
You stabbed somebody?
Wow.
I did. I stabbed somebody yesterday. No, just kidding. I would never do that.
And no one posted it on Facebook.
I know nobody did.
No, I did. I saw.
I
it.
saw
It's
this.
right
I
here.
saw this comedian. I saw a local comedian stab a guy downtown.
Oh God. So Chris D'Elia came here,
Oh, yeah.
and I've been getting a lot of messages because
I was one of them.
he kind of blasted Albuquerque.
This is the guy that compared us to Jacksonville.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That in and of itself is fucked up.
well, let me just. Okay, Albuquerque. At first I was a little upset, right? Like, I'm a huge Chris D'Elia fan, and I was disheartened that he had said some things about our city. But then I asked some comedian friends, and I saw some stuff on Facebook from, seasoned comedians that were at the show. Albuquerque, you got to do better, man. He couldn't get through his set.
Oh, really?
They were interrupting him every
Oh.
10 seconds.
Oh no.
Which is fair because they do that to you.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I've been doing comedy here for 4 years. And let me just make a couple of points here. I've been doing comedy here for 4 years, and there are still some of my close friends who have never seen me do comedy because they refuse to pay a cover. They don't want to buy beers where I'm doing comedy. There's that aspect. And then from doing comedy for 4 years here, our crowds are so tough. If you ask any comedian that has been on the road that started in Albuquerque, you go to any other city and it's a walk in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is. And then on top of that, I saw so many threads about it because I was like, okay, if I'm going to talk about this on the show, I want to make sure I have my points down because I love Albuquerque so much. You guys have done a lot for me, but the people who were commenting on a lot of the threads were saying things like, he's not a fluffy. Well, no, he's not fluffy. He's not Gabriel Iglesias. He is Chris D'Elia, and his comedy is a little different than that. And broaden your horizons. Like, if you only like one comedian, don't go to the show.
Right. They're not all the same.
They're not all the same. We're not all the same. We all have different styles, and Chris D'Elia is kind of a more, I don't want to say cerebral, but maybe a little bit more cerebral than fluffy. He's a little different. And then when he posted it and everybody got angry, he posted another tweet and he was like, hey, I don't apologize for my jokes. I was just trying to make a joke. He actually said that the crowd in Albuquerque was great, even though it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, whoever was supposed to be promoting the show, I'm a huge Chris D'Elia fan. I didn't know about it until a week before he got here.
I didn't even know he was here.
So, I mean, and I'm a huge fan and I'm a comedian, didn't know he was even coming. I think he was probably a little bit frustrated. They had to move it from El Rey to Chemo because it wasn't promoted the way it was supposed to be.
Oh.
And so ticket sales were low. And I think there was a lot that went into it, and people have to understand that comedy is a hard job. It is so hard. So when a comedian tweets something like that, first of all, he was making a joke. Second of all, he loved Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people who showed up to Santa Fe let him tell his jokes.
Did he do a show in Santa Fe too?
He did. It was the next night. He
Yeah.
was in Santa Fe. And again, it wasn't promoted well.
Yeah.
It wasn't promoted well. Ticket sales were low.
Right.
And it's not because of Chris D'Elia. It's not because people don't know who he is. Plenty of people know who he is.
Right.
He's amazing. So Albuquerque let up on it. He didn't say anything racist. He wasn't saying anything really derogatory. He was just saying that he had a hard night and it was a joke. Let it go. That's my 2 cents on it. And there are tons of people who have been. There are tons of famous people
I was
who have
gonna
been
say that.
here and completely trashed our town.
I'm about to show you.
He did not say half of the horrible things. He wasn't saying that he hated it here. He was just saying he had a really, really hard time. Like somebody said that he couldn't do a joke for more than 10 seconds without somebody yelling at him, and people were requesting jokes from his Netflix special.
Oh, that's
Every 10 seconds. So, and I know
seems
that
so
feeling.
contrary because unlike music where you want the classics.
Yeah.
Like with comedy, you want the fresh.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
comedians that totally mail it in. They've been doing the
Yeah.
same act for 30 years. And you're
Absolutely. And if
And
it's
so-
on the Netflix
Don't-
special,
I'd be yelling at him, fuck the Netflix special. Give
yeah,
me the fresh
do your
shit.
own. And he was working on a new set. I'm assuming he's about to come out with a new special.
Uh-huh.
That stuff is hard, and I'm sorry, Albuquerque, but on this one, I think that Chris D'Elia was fair.
Okay.
I think he was fair.
And that is fair.
Because like I said, I have had crowds like that almost
Yeah.
every night for the last 4 years.
So I'm not going to name their names, but here's one thing that destroys me about some of our friends. Like they play in bands, and then I'm like, let's go to this show, and they're like, it's $10 to get in.
Yeah,
I don't want to go.
absolutely.
And I'm like, it's $10 to get into your fucking show.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's
And that's another thing that I want to say too is I have so many friends, bands that I have bought their T-shirts. I have gone to their shows. I have bought drinks there. I always
Yeah.
pay a cover when I go to my friends' shows, and my friends always ask me to comp, and it's usually my friends that are in bands.
Right.
I'm going to just go ahead and be honest. One member of Moonshine Blind has been to my comedy shows, and I have been to every single one of theirs, and they're not together anymore, but I have worn their tank tops on stage. I promoted them.
That's why it's okay to talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a band anymore.
They're not even a band anymore. But it's just, it's like I think comedy is truly the redheaded stepchild of the entertainment world,
Well-
and nobody wants to pay to see us.
well, I think okay. And I'm not trying to counter you or anything. All I'm
No,
saying
no.
is, all I want to say is I think that there's so many people here that it's such a newer thing.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a comedy club, and we probably still
10
won't.
years. Yeah.
And
We're definitely still not going to have one.
doesn't seem like it. But I mean, the people don't know how to act, and the reason why I say that is because I had a friend that was like, let's go to the first time I ever went and saw comedy in
Yeah.
Albuquerque. He's like, let's go. He's like, I'm trying to think of all the things I'm going to yell out to the guy. And I was like, you're not supposed to do that. And he goes, no,
Yeah.
they like it. And I go, no, they don't.
No, we do not.
They absolutely don't.
No.
So I think that that's a thing. Because if you go watch bands here, if it's an opener and the people here don't like it, they will fucking let them have it. I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
watching a punk band, emo punk band, and the guy kind of looked like a Danzig ripoff. And at one point, he was wrapping the microphone around his neck to, just be like emo. And the one dude goes, "Hang yourself for real,"
Yeah.
And it was funny, but they think that ties over to what comedy, which it doesn't,
Yeah.
And I
we
get what he's
don't
saying.
like that. PSA, please stop doing that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't mind it so much now that I've been doing it for 4 years. I'm already prepared. I know how to handle hecklers. I'm fine with it. And, like I said, now when I go on the road, I'm not nervous for the comedy festival because I know it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
One of the we had Steve Hostetter at the one of the tap room at the Uptown tap room, that guy owns the hecklers, and that was really cool, especially in a town like Albuquerque where people are, and he's like, bring it.
Yeah. Absolutely,
and
you have to be that way.
You come into a crowd like this, but I had just a couple of thoughts here in thinking about this aloud. We were talking about before the show started the Albuquerque United or New Mexico United and how cool that crowd is, and it's loud,
crazy,
it's boisterous, and
it's kind of perfect for us.
Well, and that's the same crowd, and we don't know how to shift mindset to go sit and watch a comedy show. So not that it justifies it by any stretch,
no,
but it's like
I get it.
It's like I'm following because I'm born and raised here. I'm like, I get this. This is fucked up. The other thing though is, I laugh about this because it's very much a part of the identity of Broken Trail, and some of the personalities that I try and impart in the business, is this idea that New Mexicans love, like, we love New Mexico, but we hate it.
Yeah.
And it's I can kick my dog, but you can't kick my dog.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like we'll sit here and bitch and complain. The crime is fucking ridiculous. It's bullshit. But some asshole comes and compares us to Jacksonville. Holy
we lose
fuck.
our shit.
Yeah.
Well, a couple have already done it at stars before, like Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah.
And Mary McCormick. Jessica Alba said it was, when she filmed The Eye here, it was boring. Her main food sources were Applebee's and Chili's.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to do but hang out at Walmart.
Well, and the sad thing about Jessica Alba, my dad used to work with her cousin that is from here. And, you know, obviously, she just stayed in her hotel and had people bring her Chili's and Applebee's.
And it's like
when you get on the Grubhub app, and that's the best that comes up.
And I feel like that's like when you've had bad information, because there's, you know.
Yeah, whoever her
if you were to insult Albuquerque, fine. But the food?
Yeah. Well,
how
that's
dare
actually,
you?
But I'm also going to
you
counter.
obviously did not try any of our food if you're like,
But I'm also going to counter that, because when she says it's boring, there's nothing to do here, she's not from here. We have shitloads of people who live here, grew up here, who say that same fucking thing. Drives me insane.
Absolutely.
And it's like, blah. Well, then there was Mary McCormick, who did the TV show In Plain Sight.
Yes, and she's best friends with Chelsea Handler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great show. I tried to watch it because it was local.
I did too. What did she say? I'm trying to find it in this thing. And then she ended up apologizing. But then I was like listening to that, like she did that, which was dumb, and then she did something that I thought was way more dumb on the radio while she was apologizing. Like, she's apologizing, and they're asking her, like, they're like, yeah, well, your kids go to school here, right? And she goes, yeah, they go to this school over here. And I was like, are you out of your mind? You just said that on the radio.
Oh my God.
You're a celebrity. I'm like,
dumb.
That's dumb.
Come kidnap my kids at this elementary school.
Please take them and ask for ransom.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is, and I think to circle back around to your point, Chris, with this stabbing downtown, is I love Albuquerque. I love the outdoors. We've got some of the best mountain biking, hiking, skiing, literally within 20 minutes of.
I thought you were going to steal his line. Well, I like Albuquerque.
I like it.
Fuck all y'all.
But I found it, like, I'm down on things right now.
Yeah.
There was something where the #1 burglary capital of the planet right now.
Armed robbery,
Yeah. I mean, stabbings and murders and shit that is going on that just has me really down.
Yeah.
New Mexico was slammed on national television last night in front of.
This was actress Margot Robbie from.
Oh yeah, Margot Robbie.
She said lots of missing teeth whenever they asked her about Albuquerque.
By the way, she partied at Maine right before we closed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And you didn't have missing teeth, did you?
I took mine off.
I mean, can we also talk about?
I did have one of my bartenders who was like, do you think I should hit on her? And then he did hit on her.
No.
And that was the wrong answer.
That was not what he should have done.
Yeah, like, you fucking idiot.
Can we also talk about that it makes news, like, when somebody puts down Albuquerque? Because we all have that Burqueño in us that's like, you can't insult us.
I'll stab you,
even
bro.
if we were shitty to him when he was here, like, it's not fair. And I'm just like, if you treat somebody like shit, don't expect them to not say something.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
But sorry.
If you invited somebody into your house, which we did with this comedian or any of these, and then you treat them like shit, then you would expect them to give you a bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And yet we're upset. We're surprised that we got the bad Yelp
people
review.
are like, well, just wait till he comes back here. He ain't gonna come back here.
Yeah,
they won't.
That was it.
They'll try to book him again, and he'll be like, nah, I'm not booking that city. Fuck them.
He'll be like, I'll go back to Santa Fe.
I don't know. He's a comedian. He probably will.
Well, I was listening to Jay Mohr's podcast at one point, and he would talk about actually Chris D'Elia actually said it out loud.
Yeah.
Jay Mohr was like, usually what you do is you just if you show up to a city and it undersells, the people don't come out, you don't go back.
Yeah.
And then when other people go, hey, what's Albuquerque like? They go, nah, they don't come out, and then they don't book, and that's how it works.
So is it a promoter's fault? Is it the crowd's fault?
A little bit of both.
I think in this situation, I think there was a lot of frustration. And again, I'm kind of assuming, but I've been doing this, not as long as him, but I mean, I've seen situations where it's the promoter's fault, and then the only people that you have there are people who are not interested, not fans of his. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm one of his biggest fans. I love him and didn't know he was here.
Off the air, I really want to dig your brain further on this. But we've worked with a promoter to do shows at our Uptown spot primarily. And I'm always like, all right, send me the info so we can cross promote and be like, oh, we forgot day of.
Yes.
And then they want to send us a $200 bill. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it was going to be, you guys get 100% of the door, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And all these things, so as the bar owner or the facility owner, I put almost all the blame on the promoter.
Here's the deal with that, and I'm just going to be 100% honest, and again, I'm not going to mention names, but I have a feeling I know at least 2 people that it could be. I have tried to get venues. I want to do, my own show and all that stuff. I've promoted before, and a lot of venues are like, oh, we don't do comedy anymore. Because somebody dropped the ball, and the thing is that people don't...
Do you want to do comedy at our place?
Absolutely.
And I'll give you 100% of the door?
Absolutely. We will talk.
All right, cool.
Because the thing is I promote shamelessly. You can ask these
Bringing
guys.
people together.
Look at that. We're just
what we do.
networking. But you can ask these guys. I even shamelessly promote this show.
Yeah.
And any show that I'm on, if I'm not producing it, even if I know I'm not getting paid, I shamelessly promote all day long. My followers on Instagram probably hate it, but they go through it to watch my stupid text messages comedians send out for me.
There's at least 20 stickers up in New Zealand of 10.
Nice. See, and that's the thing. You have to have that spirit, and I feel like some of the promoters expect the bar to do it. And here's the deal: you got to work together, and you both have to promote.
Well, first of all, that's people not showing up. It's not Chris D'Elia's fault. Chris D'Elia doesn't live here. He can't drive around and put tack up some posters, Mm-hmm. It's 100%. I mean, okay, you said they moved venues. Well, then it's clearly not the venue's fault.
No.
I feel like if you're a promoter and you're promoting a show, that's first of all, you're called a promoter.
And especially with a big name like Chris D'Elia, honestly, I am legitimately one of his biggest fans.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What do you mean?
I had no idea he was here.
And it was literally heartbreaking. And they could have had a sold-out show if they had just promoted it.
Okay, so John Fugelsang, we interviewed John Fugelsang, right? I didn't know who John Fugelsang was before we interviewed him. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But then when I saw the picture of him, I go, okay, I remember the guy from VH1.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then we do the interview with him, and I was like, well, shit, one of us should really go to his show. I mean, he really, because he kind of elevated us, letting us interview him in a theater,
Yeah.
Dude, it was $60 to go see him. Now, you would think immediately, I immediately was like $60. I was like, shit, man, this is kind of painful to buy a ticket for $60 for a guy. I don't even know what his comedy's like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 500 people there.
Yeah.
500 people paid $60 to go see this guy.
Absolutely.
And I have no idea like where they came from. I mean, they mostly look like people from Santa Fe because it was like an older crowd.
He's
and
amazing.
People
though.
didn't fucking yell shit out to any of his stuff.
Because it was promoted
Yeah.
well.
Right.
That's the difference. You get a good crowd if you promote well. My roast was pretty good turnout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was a good crowd because I started promoting it 2 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it was not light promotion. It was like every single day.
Yeah.
And that's how you succeed as a comedian. I don't get it.
So there's a whole interesting side discussion about this whole comedy thing, and specifically how it relates to the breweries, because I know a lot of the breweries have started to do comedy nights, whether it's using one of the promotion companies or open mics or this or that, and a lot of that stems from the backlash from the music industry and all the fees from the music industry. And so I would gladly go pay a comedian 100% of the door, and not pay some asshole company in New York, some ungodly amount of money. Right. But then, it's now you've got all these players that they want to be a comedy venue.
Yeah.
And they don't have the crowd. They don't have the
PA.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's always a problem.
Always a problem. But I will say that comedians in this town have great relationships with breweries. Mm-hmm. To me, what comes to mind is Bozy and Red Door. Those two have supported us at Bozy since they opened. Mm-hmm. Theirs is on Sunday night. It's the best open mic because they support us as well. But the brewery and comedy scene here in Albuquerque is an interesting thing. We all love the breweries because they love us. So it's been an interesting thing to see.
I do love like when you're talking about like, okay, so it's promoters fault as far as this goes.
Yeah.
You talk about crowd. We're also really cheap here.
Oh, dude,
yes,
that's where
absolutely.
I was about to go.
Okay.
So,
My own friends won't even pay to go see me.
And that's fucked up. So what I think that's really good that the New Mexico United, the soccer team, does is you can't buy the grass seats till day of.
Oh.
And that's like basically saying buy the good ones first, assholes.
Yeah.
Really. So here's what trips me out about Isleta Pavilion or whatever the fuck we call that amphitheater out there now.
Is it
Journal,
Hard Rock?
Journal,
Isleta?
whatever the fuck it is.
Always and
Mesa
forever.
Vista, Mesa del Sol.
So
Oh, is that what it is now?
No,
No,
that's
that's
what it
okay.
was when it opened.
Oh,
like
that's
a-
right.
So the grass
Old school.
seats, which are like the
I
cheap
forget.
seats, sell out before the regular seats always.
Yeah.
Now,
Every
what
time.
I think they should do, so like the Prophets of Rage were coming here, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's Rage Against the Machine mixed with Chuck D and
Yeah.
Be Real from Cypress Hill. I was super stoked. So tickets went on sale for a week, and they went, nope, moving to El Paso. And they switched it to El Paso because all that people bought was grass seats.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, and I'm like, don't sell those right away.
Right?
Only sell the seats, you know?
I mean, I can remember, and maybe I can remember in high school, waiting in line to get, because they would start selling at seat 1, row 1.
Yeah.
And you got in line to get that, and then it moved back.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't sell the grass seats
Right.
until
I would wait at like Smith's. Do you guys remember
Yes,
that?
yeah, the Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster at Smith's. I would
I
make
do.
my mom drive me there.
Yeah.
And then I'd stand there all day.
I went,
There
to,
was-
I went to Smith's to buy Tool tickets.
Me too.
The
You're the
weirdest
tool.
was it was Foley's back when Macy's was Foley's or whatever, and
Right.
they were the Ticketmaster outlet.
Oh, okay.
And it was Van Halen that we waited to, and so we're in that.
Hold on, we got to stop right there. Was
Yes.
it Van Halen?
Or was it Van Hagar?
I mean, okay.
Van Hagar.
Are we gonna fight? Is the first question, and the answer is yes.
It was Van Hagar?
It was Van Hagar.
Okay. Well,
The Balance
That's all I
album.
mean. It's okay.
yeah, good for you.
I mean,
but you loved Pepsi Clear or whatever.
right now.
Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal
Right?
Pepsi.
I mean, holds nothing to the Gary Sharon era, but
This is true.
which is all of 5 minutes. But we're in the parking lot of the mall at 7 in the morning, to go upstairs to Macy's or Foley's back in the day.
Foley's, okay, yeah.
To get our Ticketmaster tickets, and that was how you got front row seats.
That's right. Yeah. None of this like wait until like midnight hits and they go bam on your computer.
Yeah. It was like Black Friday every time a concert came to town.
Every time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Even when I was in high school. I mean, I would just stand in line.
And we would get some cool acts.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how. Okay, so I lived in Clovis and we had none. None came through. So we'd have to go to Lubbock.
That's weird because they've got that really cool music.
Now they do.
They do?
They do have now.
I was about to talk shit, but
they have a convention center now, and they have like second tier country artists come through. But we would have to go to Lubbock. So my first concert was like Bon Jovi Skid Row in Lubbock. I don't remember how we got the tickets because back then, I mean, I know we didn't drive over to Lubbock and get them. I know we did. I have no idea how we went. I don't know.
Did you stab somebody?
I stabbed, and then some dude was bragging about it. I was like, whoa.
Call the cops.
This guy's a human over here. He's like, yeah, you just stabbed him. I'm like, I know.
Tickets, though, bro.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I've seen fun fact about sunshine shows that are sold out. You can actually go the day of when everyone's let in, and there's like 50 left.
Yeah.
They'll do. The Sunshine will sell everything because like they have a 1,000-person capacity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they'll sell 900 tickets and then say sold out online.
Yeah.
And then you can go the day of. Sometimes.
And the thing is,
who it is.
Of course, you're the last person in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always tell people because I've seen Modest Mouse there like 4 or 5 times, and then the thing is, like, I got to the point where I'm there late anyway. I don't want to see the openers. Actually, I did remember seeing the Shins open with Black Heart Procession. I didn't have tickets.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stand around and see what happens. Sure enough.
I just want to point out in the chat so far they've said Matt Simonds, President 2020. And Matt Simonds, the love of my life.
They're very into you.
There's way too much about my life that will prevent me from ever being president. Ever.
So, back to Billy's point.
I don't know. We have Trump. Like, come on.
That's true.
If he can make it, anybody can.
Back to Billy's point. Or sometimes you just try to go to the after show because you didn't buy tickets, and you get out of the car, and people are like, "Why aren't you in the show?" And we're like, "Oh, we didn't buy tickets," and they go, "Get in here."
Oh yeah, no.
You
scamps.
Come on in.
I have done that
scamps.
so many times. Like, what are you doing? Just sitting there on the patio having a cigarette. I'm like, I don't see the point.
Just get in here.
I don't see the point of like paying for the last 10 minutes of just get in.
I swear, what was the band that happened to? Like, it was last year. It was the Breeders.
Oh yeah.
And so we go, and it's like 45 minutes into the show, and we get in. And I hear every song I wanted to hear. I was like, I'm doing this every time.
You know what? That's happened to me at Launchpad too. Like, I get there after.
Just get in here.
Little scamp.
Get on in here.
I've had.
It was that sunshine too. Yeah. You guys were just walking by.
I've had that happen at Launchpad too, where like I'll walk up and they're like, "Just come on in.
Get in here."
And they're like, "You don't have. Just come on in," because I'm there so late. They're like, can I still? I mean, obviously, it's not probably sold out or at capacity at launch, but they always just let me. Like, if you get there really late, pro tip, sometimes they'll let you in.
Sometimes they'll let you in. I'll tell you, this is how shitty Albuquerque fans are. The third and last time I saw Bob Dylan, it was at the Isleta Pavilion, and I was poor, and I still bought grass seats.
Yeah.
And so little of seats were sold.
Yeah.
We get there, and they're like, grass is closed. Everyone just moved to the seats. To see Bob Dylan, dude. I was like, holy shit.
See, I had an opposite experience again seeing Van Halen. this was
Van Halen or Van Hagar?
This was David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar solo. And we were in row 2, and row 1 left.
Oh.
And so we jumped up to row 1 and got kicked out. And we're like, wait.
Hold on.
Wait, really? Like, those fuckers, like, we gave them, we thought,
they left?
Yeah, they're going to go get drinks. We'll give them 10 minutes, and they never came back.
Weird.
We kept our ticket stubs, so if they did come back, we just, we're sorry, we'll go back to our seats, and no, the security guard kicked us out.
Yeah. Oh. Well, and the thing that's weird about, like, it's hard to defend, like, the Albuquerque cheap fan, because everybody's like, well, you go out there, and the beers are super expensive and all this shit. Okay. So we've had 3 home games for the United, and the third game was the sellout. So they've had over 12,000 fans 2 out of the 3 games, and the other one was 8,300 fans, way more than baseball. Dude, beers are $12.
Yeah.
And the food is close to the same.
Astronomical.
So you can't tell me that the people here are like too poor to afford it. I mean, it's doable.
And I mean, the soccer fans are smart enough to do what everybody else does and get fucked up in the parking lot.
Oh man, I don't know. So I was talking to our friends over at Dialogue, and they're like, "Yeah, we're pouring beers at the tailgate," and I was like, "You guys are? How do you sell beers at the tailgate?" And they're like, "No, we're just pouring beers." Like, you guys are awesome. You're just out there fucking got kegs. Come on over.
That's a pretty smart marketing ploy.
Shit,
That's
dude.
really smart.
And I was like, and you didn't tell me. I'd have told everybody to go over there.
Can I interrupt everybody just for 1 second? Hi, Dad. Thanks for watching. My dad just got on. He hasn't watched in a couple of weeks. Hi, Dad. Love you.
Did you just give him the bird?
I don't think so. Oh, in Australia. In Australia. I can't. I work with her dad.
Did you change the green screen?
I see her dad like a lot.
Every day.
So.
They work together. Well,
yeah, we do this. Here's our. I'll do an impersonation of our intercourse together.
You have
Your
intercourse with
sexual
my dad?
intercourse?
You lost me at intercourse.
Well, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it.
No, it's intercourse.
Interaction.
Yes, interaction. Like I'll see him.
Interaction.
I'll see him, and he's got like a crowd around him, and then like I'll look over, and he'll look over, and we're all. That's it. That's like it.
My dad's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love him.
You know, and it's kind of funny. You know, it's like. Well,
Like, at least I'm not saying anything really bad today. Love you, Dad.
yay! My mom's watching as well.
Your mom watches every week, though, and we love her for that. Hello,
proud.
Debbie.
She's
We
proud.
love you.
She's proud. I like to talk about like.
Holly, have you heard my favorite Chris Berman's mom story?
I have
Chris
not.
Burnett's mom story. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Who's Chris Berman?
I was all, who's Chris Berman?
He's
And
that
is he single?
ESPN guy.
That's right. That is Chris Berman.
Yeah. We're doing a show at the distillery, and I've got open taps for these guys, so I'm pouring them. So the first thing you have to know is I'm a shitty bartender.
Yeah.
And like I hire bartenders because I'm a shitty bartender.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm like, here, Chris, here's your beer, and all of a sudden his phone starts blowing up because it's his mom giving me shit
Because it looks there's this
because
much
I
beer.
poured this much foam.
And there's this
Yeah.
much foam.
What's this fucking guy know how to pour a beer?
Oh no! I sent her a picture of it. I said, "What do you think of this?" And she goes, "I think you should ask for your money back." Is what I think.
She was very proud of me when we went to go visit. She likes the way I pour.
This is an important thing.
This is important.
These are
I've
important
learned
things.
this the hard way.
Yes.
She was very impressed with my pouring skills, and I think that's when she fell in love with me.
Right?
I mean, actually, I think your mom fell in love with me as soon as I walked in.
Aw.
Just because she gave me a really big hug and it was very nice.
Well,
That's awesome.
I actually have a funny story about my mom and dad today. So they're coming in May, and so they were supposed to come in March, but
Hey, I'll be bartending that day if they want to come by.
which day?
May.
Whichever day.
Whatever day they come in.
That's part of the story. So then they've gotten to know my friends and stuff. So my dad's like, we're coming in May. And I was like, well, don't come the weekend 2nd through the 5th. Don't come the weekend the 17th and 18th. End of conversation. We haven't talked again. So I'm having brunch with my friend Steph. I was like, yeah, my parents are coming in May. And she goes, yeah. They hit me up and said they wanted to see me. And I'm not busy that weekend. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, which weekend are they coming? And she goes, the 10th and the 11th. I was like, well, fuck, I'm glad I asked you. Because I have no idea.
I love
I have
your
no
parents.
idea. And I guarantee they're like, well, we told you. No, you have not. So now I know through another person that when my parents are coming. So it's like, oh, all right.
I love Debbie and Mike. They're the cutest.
They're coming, yeah.
Mike gave me some tall socks.
Yes.
Because he saw that I had some Victoria's Secret socks. And he was like, you like long socks? Have you ever had gold toes?
Gold toes are the best
And
socks.
they're so comfortable. Like, okay, at first I was kind of like, I don't know about this, but this is nice. I love socks. I am down with this.
Test. Okay, it's back.
Yay!
Let me just start a weird. Let me open a new one. So hold on, don't say
weird.
All right, weird. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're back. That was weird. Okay,
I got a little excited. Sorry.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
Whoops. Sorry, guys.
Well, we're at the end of the first hour anyway.
Under the table.
Yeah.
Also, I don't see any one of our, biggest fans on the show in the chat room right now.
Who?
Shelby. She's not in the chat room.
Shelby actually is also my biggest fan. The first time I met her, she might have fangirled just a little bit. And every time she's not in the chat for the show, it makes me really sad.
Yeah, if she's not watching,
she always says that Hollybird is fire. And now I feel really bad about myself.
I'm so sour right now.
I thought it was just Matt.
She hates all of us right now.
It's like, fuck all y'all.
We love her, though.
Oh, man. Matt, we're ending the first. Are you going to stay for both hours? I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
I brought 4 fucking
growlers.
Oh, damn. Let's get into those. What are we doing now?
What are we doing right now?
Lone Pine. I brought Lone Pine.
Oh, my God.
Special for you, Billy.
That was my shit.
So okay. So we want to promote, guys, go out and check out the 2 different tap rooms that Matt has. There's one at Green Jeans
Farmery upstairs.
Yeah. Then the other one is in Uptown. I always tell people next to the Chipotle.
Everybody knows Chipotle, although surprisingly a lot of people know the Fork and Fig too.
The Fork and Fig is good,
Yeah. If you're hungry, if you've got a date, go over there, grab some grub.
Well, the thing
come over to our place because they don't do alcohol at Fork and Fig.
But you can go over there, order, and then come over to your place and they bring
Check this out. We just installed this. You can go over to our place and say, I want to order Fork and Fig. We have a button at our next to our point of sale system that will ring the server. Like, you don't even have to go to Fork and Fig now. Yeah. But you can order Fork and Fig.
It like all of a sudden it goes bzzz, and they go like this. They go. Fuck.
Mostly because it's me going.
Are you waving at them at the same time?
Yes,
I do. Yeah.
But Matt has some of the they have some of the best mixed cocktails that you can drink in alcohol. Also, they have the Pepe the Mule.
Yeah, the freaking Pepe the Mule is the bread and butter for me.
Oh, so I want to talk about for the next hour. I'll tease this. The last time Matt and I hung out before, we hung out earlier this week. But before that...
Which is also a funny story.
That's also a funny story. Because one of us got drunk and was not allowed into Sister Bar.
Oh, that's bad.
And hint, it's the guy that makes booze for a living.
Yes. So before that, though, Matt and I did a festival together. And I want to tease, talk about that fun, exciting... Because it was really fun, and I would definitely do that shit again. I'll tease that.
Go ahead. Sorry, I was going to say, it is an open invitation that any festival we do, you guys are welcome to come in and do a remote.
And awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. Remember the pictures, and you remember Smiley had his hair shaved?
Oh, no. This one was just me and Matt.
No, this was a different one.
It was a different one. This was like the Bernalillo Old Wine Festival.
Oh, I forgot about
I need to hear these stories.
This was last summer, yeah.
This was before my time, and I'm excited.
So, Holly Ann, what do you get? You always have stuff.
I am so busy lately. So Saturday, 4/20, you can see me at Moonlight Lounge. I may or may not celebrate 4/20. My dad's watching, so I'm not celebrating 4/20.
What does 4/20 mean?
Yeah, I don't even know why people are excited. It's a day before Easter, so I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
4/27, I will be at the African American Cultural Center with Royal Wood and Robert Eister, who have both been on our show very recently.
Correct, yeah.
2 of my best friends. And that is with Ramiro Garcia, so please come out to that. And then...
Wait, where is that at?
It's at Expo, New Mexico.
Oh, that's right, State Fairgrounds.
African American Cultural Center.
I was like,
yeah, and for any of these things, you can go to my Instagram, which is at Hollybird Comedy, and you will find more information. Also, May 2nd through the 5th, I will be performing all 3 nights. A couple of the... I actually think I am performing twice every day at that festival.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes. So I am going to be a busy lady, and I'm going to have a different set every single show. So please come out to the Southwest Chief Bicycle and Comedy Fest in Trinidad, Colorado. You can go to my Instagram. There's a link in my bio. And if you use... Sorry, this is so much. If you use coupon code BIRDCOMEDY, you will get 50% off tickets for the whole weekend at the Comedy Fest.
Dang.
Please tell me we're road tripping.
We're
okay.
road tripping.
Well, that's awesome that you say that, Matt, because we're podcasting from there.
Yes.
Like, officially.
I don't know if you know this, but you guys are in a famous podcast.
Yes. So, May 2nd through the 5th, we will also be at the Southwest Chief Bicycle and Comedy Festival. I think it's the 3rd. The podcasters are going to do live stream from a funeral home.
Home, guys.
Can't wait.
We're making it.
16 podcasts.
Other than that, though,
podcasts.
I'll be there yelling at Holly from the crowd as she does her set. I'll be going, talk about truckers!
Just to make all the people in California
the tickets
uncomfortable.
are too expensive.
Do that joke about chlamydia.
Do that joke about that time you got AIDS.
Yeah.
That one time.
That one
time.
The cool thing about AIDS is you can only catch it once.
Right,
Only
That's
one?
good.
It's
That's
like
fair. That's
chicken
fair.
pox.
It was just that one weekend at Coachella a couple years ago. You know?
Other than that, I think
So I'm immune, baby.
Nice. May 17th and 18th, we will be in Rama, New Mexico for Road to Riches.
Oh, yeah.
That will not be live streamed because there is no intranet. So we will be
do a show there.
filming. Well, Smiley, Holly, and I will be filming there. Billy will be in the van.
Well, I'm sorry. Last year, I'm so sorry about last year.
No. Last 2 years.
Yeah.
You
that's
guys
2
could have
years.
just nudged me. It's like, wake up, we have a podcast.
No, you were supposed to. Last year, you were supposed to go get something out of the van, and you just never came back.
We go over there, and he's like,
Where's Billy?
half in the van, half out of the van.
I am so excited for this.
I have a photo of this. Yeah.
This sounds
do.
like my kind of weekend, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you guys could just be like, hey, Billy, wake up, we have a
I don't
podcast.
think that we were at that point where like he's not going to be able to do this. This is like when you go home with the girl and you pass out and she's like, well, I could wake him up and we could have sex, and then she's like, it's not going to be good.
I'll just let him sleep.
I'll just let this go.
I'm just gonna let him sleep this off.
But
That's
I
like
did
every
wake, I did
date
wake
I've
up
been on.
like halfway through, and I was like, oh shit, sorry guys, and you guys were already in
Done, yeah.
That
We were
sounds
going.
like every date I've been on in the last
Oh, dang.
year.
We'll see.
Just kidding.
Billy, do you have anything to promote?
I do have a show on April 25th, which is next week. It's Friday. At Moonlight Lounge. It's King Dude. I guess he's supposed to be pretty good.
A guy called King Dude?
It's actually an all touring bill.
Except for you guys.
Except for us. And we're playing last.
How much is it?
Probably like 10
I'm
bucks.
not going to go.
$10.
Too
Nope,
expensive.
can't
Too
go.
expensive.
Too
Too
expensive.
expensive. No thanks. It's good.
But I do love Moonlight Lounge.
Yeah,
I do too. I'm so excited. This is my first time performing there next weekend. I'm very excited.
Nice. And James, do you have anything?
No, I got nothing going on. I just got back from vacation. Midnight Texas is still streaming on Hulu. Go ahead and watch that.
Okay.
Smiley, you've changed since New Zealand.
I know.
You were like you're not wearing your glasses.
Oh,
You
yeah.
cut your hair.
You look handsome.
You look handsome. You look lean.
You don't
You
look
were always
downtrodden. You
looking
don't look
handsome,
disgusting.
but
I don't want
look
to
at
throw
you.
up when I look at your face.
No, that's
Skin
not what
looks
I meant.
on point.
That's
you
what I
just
meant.
look refreshed and beautiful.
Oh, I thank you.
I was just adding
Cheers.
to it.
Yeah, I'm like,
You look great. I just imagine you with your trench coat, long hair, and just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What the fuck is this? Where are we at?
I'm gonna call a lift right now.
We're in Trinidad, James. Okay. I don't like it.
I'm in a good mood lately.
Good.
What can I say?
All right.
We love it.
We're glad.
Here
So-
for it.
Here for it.
So go check out Broken Trail Brewing and Distilling. They have a lot of different like liquor in the store. Where can people buy that stuff?
Anywhere you can find your favorite booze, whether it's Total Wine, Jubilation Wine and Spirits, Kelly's, Quarters,
The airport.
Airport.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had one year like I was going to
Portland.
Northwest. No, I was going to Seattle.
Yeah.
They had it there. It's like
Portland, Seattle, same thing.
Put that with my.
So go and get some of that. Drink it like we drink, but always remember, never get too drunk to jerk. 10drinkminimum.com.
What's the use of fire if you can't burn a sea for all to claim? My fate was not the same as everyone is slave. Your friends turn fickle, you're to blame. The envy veers to jeers as the glass they throw it break. Walk this way, was I that incommodious? Can I plead to keep my head? My fate is not the same as everyone I slay. The crowd, the ground. Didn't say your prayers. You were the king who walked on shards of jars that held your people's fate. Now here is my mind will be clear before my hair rolls. Now here is my mind will be clear before my hair rolls. Chop. For all the years that I kept away strong, there was no use crawling to the dust. I'm speaking of wishes, more than days, they could be better. Don't assume I'm just way high, the world's apart, and I wanted to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? Till the place I'm back to my dream started. One day next to your skin. Chase it all. Was it you? Your face is red as your hands. I've got time to walk at the end and walk with you to the corner of Richmond. Your apartment's nice, if there were me. Strong, there was no use crawling to the dust. I'm speaking of wishes, more than days, they could be better. Don't assume I'm just way high, the world's apart, and I wanted to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? To the place I'm back to my dream started. One day next to your skin. sound is the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is my own. Prepared to set for an answer right in, I guess. Come on, just a slice of what we have.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh, yeah.
We're back.
Wavy hour.
I love wavy hour. It's my favorite
Yes.
hour of my week.
Or as we like to call it, Lone Pine Hour.
Lone Pine Hour for Matt Simonds.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Let me tell you about the Lone Pie. I'm sorry, Holly.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm telling you about the Lone Pie. That was my shit back in the day.
Yeah.
When it come out, it's like, Lone Pie, like, there's not any left. It's like, oh, well, give me a water.
Did I get none of this? Because I had a beer?
You have a beer full.
That's fucked up.
Have some Lone Pine.
Fuck you.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
One of the other beers that I brought today is our Old Pine.
I don't know why that's funny to me.
Oh, my God.
You guys get the old shit.
I like Matt.
Broken Trail.
Trail.
One of the top 50 beers in Albuquerque.
Yes.
One of the top 75 beers in Albuquerque.
Dude, I'm so red from laughing at that. One of the top 50 beers in Albuquerque.
One of the top 107.
Right.
Number 50. We're doing good. Broken Trails, Lone
Mommy,
Pine.
I'm going to make it. We're top 150. So I had a batch of Lone Pine. So those of you that don't know, there are beers that you brew for your customers, like our IPA, and there are beers that you brew for me and for Billy.
Yeah.
And now me, because I'm
Holly.
obsessed now.
And I love Pilsners, and I brew Lone Pine for me and Billy and now Holly. And Smiley.
Yeah, whatever. That's all right. It's cool.
Whatever.
Well, no, but
I'm
it's
so
like
pissed. I'm so pissed.
Chris is salty
the thing
right
is,
now.
when we're doing the Cards Against Humanity, like, I'm the only one ordering Lone Pine.
Oh yeah.
All you guys are ordering the
Fancy drinks.
Fancy drinks.
Or the,
Yeah.
I'm bartending and they're
Fancy
ordering
drink?
the fancy drinks. I'm like,
Oh,
you guys
fancy.
realize.
I thought you guys said Fanta, and I was like, do you guys have
Well, no, there was
Fanta?
some that
There's
tasted
some
like
Fanta.
Fanta.
Well, Matt, you're never going to get better if you don't practice. We were just giving you the practice.
I appreciate that.
Well, see, for people that don't know, we used to do Cards Against Humanity every Wednesday night.
Every
I don't
Wednesday
remember.
night, yeah.
And until we were so bitter with that game that it's so funny because, like, to this day, there's still breweries that are like, so you guys still do the Cards Against Humanity thing? And I'm like, no.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
It got to the point where it was the same cards, and I think like a couple months in, it's like I already know who's.
You had every expansion pack. You had the
Yes.
expansion pack to the expansion
I
pack.
had the ones that aren't even official.
And it's
Crabs Against Eternity or something.
Well, and
Crabs Against Eternity.
Yeah, there's okay. So like you'll go on Amazon, and there's these other companies that make expansion packs for Cards Against Humanity, but to not get sued, they like call it like literally like Crabs against like Eternity or
Society.
Yeah, and one was like Cats Against something or other. Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is that whole experience of doing cards at the brewery has ruined me. A friend of mine over Christmas break, we're like, hey, let's play some Cards Against
Have you heard
Humanity.
of this? I'm like, I have heard of it.
And this one guy in the group was like, tee tee, like, and he plays his cards like something orgasm. And
Yeah, we
just
get it, Bukkake. Dude.
And I'm like,
fuck you.
Boom, boom, boom.
I came in your mom's face,
motherfucker.
asshole.
I came in your mom's asshole face.
While wearing an Abraham Lincoln hat.
Yeah.
I will say this. If you have never played Cards Against Humanity with a bunch of comedians, you don't even know what Cards Against Humanity is, because we can turn... I have seen Cards Against Humanity turn so disturbing very quick.
That's what we call it, Smiley.
That was my job. That was my job.
And people... So I played with a couple friends of mine, and I made the worst Cards Against Humanity combination ever. And people were like, I don't know if this is funny or sad. And I was
But
like,
in your
well,
head,
in my head, it's funny.
makes total sense.
Yeah, and in your head, that's sad. But for me, a dead baby something or other is hilarious.
Yeah.
For the record, I really want to play Cards Against Humanity with you. I'm like,
So Holly.
Yes.
He had one card that he got almost every week and pulled it out. Went and found it in the deck.
It was like how I liked to ruin everyone's evening.
And then he acted it out. Do you remember the card?
Daddy, why is Mommy crying?
And so then the crowd would each team would have to pick a card, and it would be like, because she had bees in her asshole, and it was just like, and he would act it out like he would act like he was a child, and people would get so disturbed by it, or loved it.
Or loved it.
Yeah, it was.
Or that one guy that got really turned on.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the bartender.
Guys, I have an announcement. Mm-hmm. I hit a milestone in my comedy career. I have a dead baby joke that goes over pretty well.
I want to hear this. I love dead baby jokes.
So this is like a huge thing. It's not a huge thing, but it's kind of like a thing where, like, if you can make a dead baby joke go over, you're all right, And so I got this dead baby joke, and I think even Shelby saw on my story that I landed a dead baby joke. I did it at Bozy for the first time, and I was not expecting laughs. I was doing it because Josh, our bartender at Bozy, who I love so much, he's not bartending anymore. He went to the back. He's brewing now, and that's all he wants to do. And so for his last night, it was like, well, Josh really likes it when I just ruin the crowd.
Oh.
So I'm going to do this really weird. And it landed so well. And I was like, I'm going to do this all over town. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Kill babies.
Yeah. I just kill babies all the time. And the closest I've ever gotten is I have a joke about eating babies. Take from that what you will. I think my dad is still watching.
This is a weird way to talk about abortion.
No, Smiley be all about this. Smiley be in the crowd like,
No, I literally, so my eating babies joke, my mom hates, because I'm like, this is why I don't ask Mom for money for abortions, because I eat all my babies. My mom hates it. And then, so I started telling this. So what happened was this. I got on Facebook one day. And this is a totally true story. It's not my joke. To see my joke, you'll have to come see me do comedy.
Oh, I was waiting to hear it.
I mean, I'll tell it. Do you want me to tell the joke?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell some, though. I have some.
So what happened was this. A few months ago, my friend had a baby shower. Okay? We all go to her baby shower. We're all really excited. And so then I decide I should look at her Facebook because she probably had the baby by now, and I don't want to be that asshole who's not commenting on her new baby pictures, right? And I'm one of those people that I don't particularly think newborn babies are cute.
Oh, God, they're
You know what I mean?
ugly.
They look weird.
Right.
But I saw the pictures of her baby, and I even made jokes to my best friend. I'm like, what is wrong with this baby? It looks weird. So 75 of us comment on it. 75 comments. We're like, congratulations. He's so cute. Can't wait to meet him.
You're shaking his hand.
75 comments in. Her sister goes, you guys are so insensitive. The baby was stillborn. She hired a photographer to take a picture. And all I could think is, you guys are going to post spoiler alert for Game of Thrones recaps, but you're not going to put spoiler alert, the baby died.
Oh my God.
And that's my joke. That's it.
That's pretty good.
And the funniest part to me is when I first told the joke, I also talked about a friend of mine who posted pictures of her son and their dog, and he was crying in these photos, and I couldn't figure it out. They had euthanized their dog and hired a photographer right before to take pictures of her son feeding the dog cheeseburgers. Nobody laughed on that, but the dead baby part, everybody laughed at, proving people love dogs more than they love babies.
I thought you were going to say some shit like, what's easier to unload, a truck full of bowling balls or a truck full of dead babies? Dead babies. You can't use a pitchfork on bowling balls, Shit like that. That's what you're going to say.
Oh, no, what's funnier than a dead baby joke?
What?
Fucking nothing.
How did the dead baby cross the street? Stapled to the chicken. Oh,
God.
Shit like that.
I love it.
Here's my question, Matt.
Those are not mine.
Okay, so Holly, you're talking about the bartender who moved on up to the brewing process.
Yes.
How do you pick somebody to you trust? Somebody who you feel has potential with your recipe?
Are we live?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Because I understand like
You know,
Chris Dempsey. I'm sorry, Basil is a part of your culinary.
Basil is fucking amazing, and he's one that we're trying to get involved in the back of the house a lot more. He right now works on the canning line, and he kills it.
Did he do the Laverne and Shirley thing with the glove?
Dude, that's like, if you don't do that in your interview process, you're not hired.
Now I know how to become a brewer.
Yeah.
Basil is one of my favorite human beings. He's
also.
Oh, God.
I'll see a Facebook post tomorrow. It's like I got fired.
No, Basil's been employee of the month for 4 months running, and we've only been employee for 3 months. That's how good he is, and I have it on good authority because I'm the guy that chooses it. He's in the running for April.
I like that. Like, I feel like he should do that whole line from Beer Fest. So like, what happened at the brewery that day? He's like, you worked there for like 10 years. All of a sudden, you drink 21 beers off the line, and they fire your ass. Like, I heard someone died that day. They did.
They did.
I did.
I did. My soul.
Yeah. I don't know the whole thing.
Master's gonna be like, Basil, could you come in here? Close the door.
What's awesome about Basil? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's awesome about Basil? I knew him through our location at Green Jeans. He's been the doorman at Santa Fe Brewing for a really long time.
Doorman.
And he's just like, he's one of those people. I hate people. I'm that. And you see Basil and you're like, oh, fucking Basil, how are you?
Yeah, you can't hate Basil.
No, I love Basil, and he loves you, and that like, and genuinely, he loves he's just
everyone.
Yes, he's one of the coolest people.
He's like, come here.
Yeah, so I knew Basil for quite a while, and he wanted to get a second job. He wanted to be doing a little bit more brewery type work, and I'm like, all right, come and work for us. And this was right when we were starting the packaging, kind of ramping up our packaging line. And I'm like, just come in. We'll get you working in the back. We'll get you working on the canning line. And the very first day of work, so we have overfills and underfills that we can't sell. And so the general idea is we let the staff take whatever.
Oh, yeah. So it's basically like, somebody's like, I'm taking all this.
And that somebody on his first day was Basil. So he walks out with a stack of 10 cases. It's like,
holy shit.
Yeah.
Great job.
And so all of like the guys I work with, the partners, the canning line operators, like, this guy's not going to work out.
No, he ain't going to make it.
He's not going to make it. I'm like, we need to get rid of it. And I'm like, you guys, you can't get rid of Basil.
You can't.
You cannot get rid of
Basil.
Basil.
You cannot break Basil's heart.
No. Keep losing the sound.
Test. Okay, now we're back. Okay, cool. Right, go ahead. Cool. Sorry. Yeah, so, we'll have Smiley get you shit for now.
So, the ultimate question is, like, how do you... Because you've had other backroom people that you've hired and saw potential in.
And
is it somebody that's... Is it somebody who can actually recognize, like, different tastes in beers? Obviously, like, I could not be a distiller... because, like, okay, so here's a whiskey, here's a bourbon, here's a freaking scotch. I couldn't tell the difference. Obviously, you don't want to hire me.
Wow.
Oof.
And about beers,
actually, that sounds great. Like, everything you make is great, Matt.
Matt, you're a genius. Does
Matt,
it have alcohol content? sold.
Yeah. one of the it wasn't the first time I met Chris, but I think it was the first time I met Chris. I'm like, hey, come in the back.
Oh no, this wasn't the first time, but like first time I came in and you were like, come on back.
And I've got a barrel of vodka, 190 proof vodka.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I tell the story.
You want to go swimming in this?
Oh, I did. No, you go. He tells me like there's this big fucking 55-gallon drum, and he goes, go check that out. And I go, all right. And it looks like water. And he goes, lean into it. And I lean down and my fucking face burns. And I'm like, goddamn. He goes, yeah, that's pure vodka.
Oh my god.
I'm like, before it's been like watered down.
Yeah.
It's like Everclear basically.
And that's essentially, you can do that for vodka for anything, right? Yeah. So if you have to water it down, of course.
Yeah. Funny story, that was actually a job interview and Chris failed.
Badly.
Did you have a picture of me hugging that still?
Oh, yeah.
Just hug it. Just take a big hug. I'm like, it burns.
Before it's diluted, just take shots of it.
But so I have a story. Should I tell the story about Bernalillo?
Oh yeah. But let me answer.
Oh, go ahead.
Billy's question. I don't know what I look for, and it changes every week. Right now, I want somebody that's got a little bit more beer knowledge, that has some experience with different beer flavors. But some days the criteria is: do you have a pulse? And you show up to work on a regular basis.
Would you like to hire me? No, just kidding.
Do you have a pulse?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do you know like what beer tastes like?
Sometimes.
Perfect. Here, sniff this.
I'm like, it smells
the nose.
like beer.
Perfect. That's all we're looking for.
Oh, I didn't know it was that easy. I'm just kidding.
We're not that brewery,
No.
And I mean, they're well. Do you know what a North Irish red versus a Southern Irish red tastes like? And
I went to an interview for a local brewery, and I'm not gonna say like anybody's. I'm not gonna call anybody
you're
out.
not at them.
Monks.
I'm not gonna at them.
Whoops.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It wasn't.
I'm kidding.
But they had put out like a thing, and I've been a bartender for a long time, and they interviewed like everybody like on the spot, right? So you go and you sit and you fill out this paperwork, and then they call you up. It was like a casting call. Cool, fine, whatever. And they asked me the weirdest questions that I have been bartending forever, and I was just like, you don't know how to hire bartenders.
So that's probably me.
No,
I don't know how to.
No.
What's your favorite X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Wrong.
No, they literally asked me the most obscure beer questions that I was just like. So the guy asked me how to describe a stout or whatever, and I described it. No, it was fine. But then he goes, "Can you try that again?" And I was like.
Nope.
No, because that's how I describe a stout. But you weren't specific about what kind of stout. So what I could be talking about is a totally different stout than what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because there are different stouts.
Which is a good answer.
Right.
So he did not think so. So he immediately went, "You're not what we're looking for. Thank you so much."
Okay, so what would you pair a beer with a Minions movie, but as opposed to the Despicable Me movies?
Oh.
No, that's a good question.
That's a great question.
The answer is Lone Pine Pilsner.
Lone Pine Pilsner for Minions? Because
literally, I would suggest anything with alcohol content.
Yeah. I mean...
Are we in the theater? Because I would sneak a flask in.
Yeah.
It depends it depends. Are you watching it with children?
Also,
then
you wouldn't like...
Yeah. And then I would pair it with tequila.
Yeah. The correct answer would be you want the lower ABV for the Minions movie.
Oh, okay.
So you want to be there for the kids. Whereas Despicable Me, you're just going to cry.
Yeah.
And so you want a higher ABV, maybe like a darker beer.
Look at Billy teaching me things.
Which Despicable Me? 1, 2, or 3?
We're talking the second
I've seen
one.
none of these movies, by the way.
The second one is so good.
I am now confused, yes.
We watched 3 last night.
Have you seen any of these?
3 is pretty good, too.
This is my wrestling movie.
I saw all of them.
I do, too.
You would have a Pilsner for the first Toy Story, but the third Toy Story,
You need a stout.
Third Toy Story is sad.
Yeah.
It's like the Terminator scene. It's all bang, 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 and they're rolling down into the fire.
You need something really strong for that one.
Yeah.
I would think straight vodka.
Oh,
there you go. You're hired.
Yeah. But not good vodka.
No, you need like Crystal Palace.
You need to suffer. You need to suffer and feel shame.
You're gonna feel the pain with the character.
You want the vodka you can taste.
Yeah, you need it where it makes you feel like you're gonna go blind.
And I'm actually not the one to actually understand different types of drunk, because I understand there's like a whiskey drunk.
Yes.
There's a gin drunk.
Yes.
When we were talking about,
don't forget tequila drunk.
The girl waking up the dude and like, we're just not gonna fuck. That's whiskey drunk.
Yeah. This is not gonna happen.
Yeah. Tequila drunk for me is I'm gonna punch you in the face for no fucking reason, which is why I don't drink tequila.
So. Let's talk about the Bernalillo.
This was so much fun.
So Matt hits me up last summer and he's like, "Hey, I need a favor." And you know, when Matt Simonds hits me up for a favor, I'm gonna say yes unless I have like a funeral to go to or something, you know, because you know, since we've met, like our relationship, Billy, Matt, and James. Holly just met him today.
But we're friends.
But actually, after the story is done, I would love to tell you about how we first met Matt.
Sure.
Go ahead.
That's true. So Matt's like, I need help pretty much setting up for this festival. And, you know, that's all. And then you can have VIP passes. I have a couple if you want them. And, you know, just help me set up. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I could do that. So, like, I show up at, like, 7 in the morning or whatever on a Saturday. Yeah, it was ridiculous, yeah. Oh. But I show up, and then, like, you're already there. You're, like, there just, like, loading shit in your
ready to go
little truck, you know? and Matt doesn't... He doesn't pretty himself up for these things. He does not give a fuck.
For the record, this is the most I've primped myself for any event with you guys. Like ever.
He looks like the distiller's equivalent of a farmer. Like he's got his greasy ass hat on and like a shirt that has a tear in it. And I'm like, we're gonna go hand out beer, right? And you're like, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to, but he is. So we drive out to Bernalillo, you know, and we.
Although, in fairness, you were you are currently alcohol certified.
No,
you let it lapse.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I am alcohol certified,
but you were at the time, so
correct.
Because you're like, if you need me, I'll pour beer. I'm like, if you want to, but the whole point is to go get you to go get fucked up.
Yes. Yeah. So we get there, we set up, we're set up completely, and then we like, Matt's like, well, we're set up. Let's go talk to Palmer. And so we walk across, because like every brewery that we know is there. We walk across to Palmer, and we go over there, and like it's not serving time. And they're like, you guys want some virgin Bloody Marys? And we're like, sure. And so they make us a drink.
Virgin.
Sure.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So then we walk back over, and Matt's like, well, we better test these lines, because I don't know if the beer tastes good. We should probably try it out. So we have beers. So then the head of SID walks over.
Oh, no.
And
yes.
For people outside of New Mexico, SID is pretty much
terrifying.
The Special Investigations Unit.
Organized crime.
Division. Yeah, like they're the guys.
They're Darth Vader.
Their point in life is to fuck up bartenders.
Yeah. This guy who's there is the coolest.
Oh, this guy was bad.
SID agent I have ever met in my entire life. And so anyway, they're like 45 minutes. We're gonna have a meeting, and everybody meet over at this stage. And so we're like, cool. And so then it gets near the time, and you start to see everybody like meandering over there. Well, only Matt and I have beers as we are walking to the meeting.
To the SID meeting.
You guys went to an SID. Wait.
Yes.
Let me clarify. As somebody who's been a bartender, I understand how scary SID is. And you guys went to an SID meeting with beers. You guys are my favorite humans
Gangster
ever.
as fuck.
That's crazy.
We sit in the back row.
Yeah.
I would
Everyone
never
else is
do
like
that.
asking questions.
Oh,
and
we did
we're
not.
like,
You guys are just like, we're getting fucked up AF. Have
Yes.
a good day.
And it's funny because, like, it's not like I'm ignorant of what SID is. I've been dealing with SID since I was 22 years old. I have never been a bartender. I have fought with SID. I've had them threaten to arrest me for a beer can that was on my property.
They're scary.
And,
They're scary. And you're just drinking a beer. You guys are just drinking
You can
beer.
ask Billy. When moments like that happen, I don't shrivel.
No, you
I just
don't.
fucking ramp right into it. I'm like, I guess this is what we're doing. I guess I'm getting arrested today.
yeah.
And then they
Go big or
shrivel.
go home.
I see you get in people's faces. I was like, Chris, you don't have to do this. But
Like, fuck it, Billy, we're getting arrested today. You know? And that's kind of how Matt and I were. We're just like, I guess we're going to fucking be those guys that are going to get, we're going to shut him down.
We're going
and
to go down in a blaze of glory.
for no reason whatsoever.
you could not have taken those beers to that meeting.
No reason except for we wanted our beers at the meeting.
Yes.
We didn't want to put
Oh
our
my
beers
God.
down.
And they go
You
through,
guys are my heroes right now.
and they go through all the rules. And we're like, broke that one already. Broke that one already. I did. I broke all those rules. Yeah. Not Matt.
Well, I mean,
So
Not
then-
Matt. Matt doesn't
No, I
break
was- 'cause
any
I'm the-
rules.
So
I'm the
ever.
owner of a different brewery. And
So Matt
distillery.
he brings beer, and then he brings Pepe the Mule.
Wait. Pepe the Mule?
It's a canned Moscow Mule.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
I wanted to make sure it wasn't Pepe like an actual mule because I would want pictures.
I always call it Pee the Mule.
Funny story. I have a picture of me on a mule that we named Pepe.
So
Okay.
Whole side note.
yeah. So this is a beer festival. People come to Matt's thing, and no one wants any of the beer. They all want Pepe the
Pepe.
Mule. And you see, like, the same. This one dude came back like 8 times. He was like the Homer Simpson going to the sample line at the. He's like, oh, I'll have the Pepe the Mule. Oh, I'll have the Pepe the Mule. I'll have that Pepe the Mule. It was like same guy over and over. Man, that guy loved that shit, right?
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Can I get a growler? Can I get
And then you ran out and like I saw like people pissed. Like, they're like, what the fuck is
They
this?
lost
We're not gonna
their
drink his
shit.
beer.
Well, then they had a wedding there.
No.
Because people-
Wait,
did.
at the thing.
At the beer festival.
Yeah. And I was like,
Okay.
man, I wish Matt could walk over there in his like greasy farmer outfit.
I thought my ex getting married at Taco Bell was bad, but like, okay. All right.
So I proceed to go around and start drinking excessively. And so I'm friends with multiple breweries that are there. So like they're like, you can have this. They had a little. It was weird. You know how like you used to go to the state fair, and you'd get the bracelet you could ride any
with
ride.
the ticket. Yeah.
No, you just had that green plastic bracelet, and it like snapped. They had those, and they had little pull tabs on them. I had never seen anything like it. So you could only have so many samples, and then they would rip off a pull tab, right? I had all my pull tabs at the end wasted, you know. So I go over to Dialogue, and of course I helped them unload the kegs that they had because it was like Sam and then this other female bartender and then the male guy that was with him, he'd blown his knee out, so no one could help him. Like they had, so I'm over there like throwing kegs out. So of course if I walked over there, they just filled up a cup, and I kept going.
All while all your tabs were pulled.
I
None
never,
of them.
no,
Not a single
I never got
Not
one pulled
a
at all.
single one.
So then I go over to Palmer and, get some more. And then all of a sudden, this brewery I'd never had in my entire life, not quarter Celtic, Drafty Kilt.
Drafty
Kilt?
Kilt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, come over here and get some of our, because they found out who I was. Like, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you need to come over and have some of our beers. So then it starts raining.
Oh God.
Bad.
I've never heard this story before.
So it starts raining. So I leave Matt alone. He's like over like pouring beers by himself, and I'm standing under the Dialogue tent. And the Red Door guys are across the field. So here's what we all decided to do. And you have to imagine, I'm 280 pounds, 6'2", 43 years old at this time. And we're trading beers with Bozy and Dialogue in a marathon, like in a marathon race. Like I'm like they're handing me a beer and I'm running with a beer in the rain to give to them, and then they're giving me a beer as I run back, and we're all taking turns, and some motherfucker slipped and just right in the mud. I don't remember who that was.
Oh man, I would have been so good at that.
It was
I would love that beer festival experience, because in my experience, especially for beer festivals, you have samples.
Yeah.
Give you a little sample, and you're waiting like 20 minutes in line for like one little shot.
There was not a lot of people there.
No.
Now,
I think
you're
this
not
was
using your street cred enough, because I've been to enough things with Chris where I have that same thing. I'm like, they're supposed to give me 4 checks on my thing, and I've only gotten checked once.
I'm Chris motherfucking 10 drink minimum.
Yeah.
he doesn't go to beer festivals hardly.
I don't. So when I go, and wine festivals are even worse.
Oh God, wine festivals.
And these people are the worst. Like beer, I can actually get along with beer people. They're fine. Like,
why do you think I hate all the distillers? Because they're like wine people.
I can navigate myself.
The beer people are cool as shit.
Yeah, beer people are cool.
The beer people were cool with this.
Yeah, I love the beer people.
I worked in fine dining and at a liquor store long enough that I know all the wine people.
Right. Yeah. Well, then the other one. So then like that was that one. So then the other one is like the New Mexico Beer and Music, whatever it's called now. I've gone to almost all those. So I'll go to that one. And the 2 people that rule are Broken Trail and Palmer. And then it's funny because like I'll go to Palmer and they'll just go, you know, you're supposed to give you like this sample.
I know the sample. That's what I. That's what I know.
And I go to that one because they give you a pint glass. Like it actually says New Mexico Beer or something on it or other. Anyway, they're supposed to give you this. Palmer will just grab my thing and fill it full of the
MWA.
malt liquor, the MWA.
Yeah.
And I'll have like 3 of those. I'm just lit. And then by 1 o'clock, Matt has showed up.
The festival started at like
his workers have showed up, but I don't know them. So then all of a sudden, Matt will show up. Literally, the last one of these, I just pulled up a chair and I'm sitting in the Broken Trail booth drinking.
So the part about the Bernalillo festival, cause you had to leave for some reason
to drink.
Yeah, I think it was to drink.
Get wasted.
And so you had to. Well, anyway, this rainstorm turned into like tornado warning.
Terrible, yeah.
Really?
And we're running drunk across the field.
And so I've got a group of. It was like 3 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. I meant. In case SID's listening.
Whoops.
Whoops. And then 2 women. And that was it. That was the only people in our tent. Everybody else was in the center pavilion. I'm like, guys, I don't feel like charging you. Like the festival's over, right? Like we're rained out. Do you guys want to get fucked up?
Those people are sliding across the grass drunk.
That's tight.
So we're just like, what do you want?
My mom says hi.
Wow.
And we're pouring beers. We're pouring beers.
Yeah.
We're getting lit. So finally they're like, all right, we're closing it down. The police come by. And the 21-year-old is like, fuck you can't kick me. Oh my God.
That shit was so outlaw.
I'm like, he was drinking over here.
I saw him at the...
I cut him off hours ago.
I saw him at the La Cumbre booth.
Yeah, he was at the La Cumbre booth this entire time. I don't know why.
He was drinking... Oh, no, that's not La Cumbre.
I saw him with a flask. He walked in with it. Right. They didn't check him good.
Yeah.
I saw him drinking double whites.
Double whites.
Yeah, right.
So when I worked at Press Club, we got double white on tap.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and the first day, people were like, "Oh my God, double weight! That gets me so fucked up." And I'm like, "No, don't say that to a bartender. Do not say that to me. I'm gonna hate you the rest of the day." And then people just don't understand what happens when you drink that. You become a dude, bro.
Yes.
No matter
and
what.
Also, the different type of actually, when I say different type of alcohol, like liquor, drunks.
Yes.
Double white is a different drunk.
Yes,
double white is a dude bro drunk.
It's
dude
bro. They all became dude bros, and I would get so mad. I'd be like, okay. So when I was bartending, my regulars hated me during the double white phase because I instituted a 2 double white minimum.
Oh, good.
Or no, 2 double white maximum, not minimum.
Yeah, here. It doesn't stop that you've had.
They come in the door.
You gotta drink 2.
They walk up there. That would be awesome. They walk up. They're like, you'll have 2 double whites.
Right.
That's what you'll have.
I'd like a Bud Light after you chug these.
That was the stupidest thing I've said on this podcast. Nobody should ever have a minimum for double whites. That's awful.
I would love it if you go, you don't even have to have 2 of them. I'll just pour them both into this bigger one.
But I instituted a double white maximum.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
it was 2. And that was for the ones I liked.
Do you know?
If I didn't know you, you got one of those, and then you could have anything else in the bar.
The funny thing about double white is I have not met a single brewer that everybody hates double white. The bartenders hate double white.
We hate
it.
The
breweries hate double white. Marble hates double white.
Yes.
They call it hot dog water.
They cannot
dog water. It is awful. So when they proposed it
right?
sells so bad. So when
there aren't that many sorority girls in Albuquerque.
No, when they proposed
or elephants on parade.
Oh my God.
Yes.
God.
So when they proposed it for us to have it on tap, I remember this meeting so distinctly. I was like, but why? Why would we do that? It's not okay. Marble has some great beers.
They do.
That do
like
not
2 or 1.
I'm not gonna Matt, you're getting me in trouble here. Just
Is that my outside voice?
but
Can I have another beer?
But when we had the meeting about double white, I was like, no. Like, I don't think you guys understand what's going to happen when we do this. They're like, but it sells. And I'm like, okay, cool. But on my shifts, they're going to get a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to deal with it.
Like, and
'cause
2
I'm a
with
real
the people
drinker.
you like.
Yeah, and that was like, you got 2 if I liked you. If I didn't know who you were and I didn't like you, you got 1. And there were a couple people that I was like, oh, sorry, the keg blew.
And I, as a proprietor of beer, I like, and maybe they're the same people that buy Pepe the Mule. I don't know, but like, who's buying? Nobody likes it, but who's buying?
Oh, they do.
I will tell
come
you.
on.
I will tell you the demographic.
Yeah.
So like, I drink double white when it's free, personally, because I'm a beer fan. But if it's free, I get fucked up. Cool. I'm fine with that. People who came in and ordered it and were excited about it were dude bros, middle-aged women who didn't know what it was. Did not know what it was.
Yes,
they were like,
did.
oh, the double white? What is that? And then we also had, like, the alcoholics. Alcoholics are your demographic for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it first,
so the same demo.
all right. So when it first came out, I have to say this because it's documented. When it first came out, I used to drink the shit out of it.
Okay.
And I mean,
But why?
This was when it was a seasonal, and I mean, it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was
literally 6
completely-
years
yeah,
ago. We were in Old Town. This show was done in Old Town. I get a growler of it, and I have 3 of the beers out of the growler, and I am fucked up. And
Right.
Billy is like, this show is over. You're wasted. Like, it's on the show. He's like, stop it. We're stopping this. It was so bad. And it's like, it's a smooth, light beer that just has a ridiculous amount of alcohol. Now, over the years, when they took it from a seasonal to where it's just like their flag bearing,
It's a staple. The
You know,
the reds are a big thing.
it's
and
changed.
The double white. Is a
it's
big
not
thing.
the same. It doesn't taste the same.
No.
And now, but the funny thing about it is it's all the rage with all the hot white girls from the Heights.
No. The thing is, it's the
Hey,
Four Loco
hey.
of craft beer.
Four Loco of craft beer.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a Four Loco of craft beer.
And there's another flavor of it. It's called Elephants on
Can we
Parade.
patent that as like the tagline?
But,
Yes.
but to be fair to them, every other big brewery is trying to come out with the double white killer.
Yeah.
And they are.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
they are.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Santa Fe Brewing, the social hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
which I think actually is a really good beer.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll drink it.
but they're like, we're gonna try to wipe out. You know, it's all a war. It's a war. Everybody used to be friends. We're not friends anymore.
Nobody's friends anymore. We're all like,
we're not friends no more.
It's like we used to go to these orgies together, and like now, like, so we can't look at each other in the eyes anymore when we're.
This happened yesterday.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Is this
brewery gossip?
This is Soccer Mageddon. So my kids play I-9 soccer, and we show up to our first game, and Sky Devory is on the other sideline. With her two daughters playing against my daughter.
Wait, her kids are old enough to play sports?
I mean, they're the same age as Emily.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Sky, for just revealing all that.
Sky is Esmeralda Brewery.
And this is where they go to school. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And
go kidnap her kids.
And then okay, long story short, second game, my older kid's playing, and next thing you know, I look across and there's Jeff Irway from La Cumbre, and his kids play. So
wow,
yeah, and then I just took a elbow drop to him because that's what I do.
Yeah, you just laid him out.
No, but my soccer team.
You did a Dusty Rose.
We won 3-2. Not
there you go.
Oh.
That's the biggest flex you can do on that guy. It's like my kid won.
You're like, what?
Yeah. And I had handpicked these hops from Bavaria.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's getting real.
Great flex, actually. It's like,
that's not even a weird flex.
I always
love
that.
Good one.
Because like in the public eye, everybody's like, well, the brewery scene in Albuquerque is really friendly. We're all friends. Da da da. Then you get in the back and everybody's like, nah, we fucking hate those people. And then they're like, oh, I can't believe they're fucking doing this bullshit.
It's literally like Britney Spears being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck
I'm
you.
out.
I'm out.
That's exactly what it is. But
it used to be that way. It was basically
it's clicked up. I mean, we have 60+ breweries.
Well, like when we first moved here, Chris, like Kelly's was the only.
Kelly's.
Oh yeah.
Kelly's everybody loved them.
No.
Matt's face.
Well,
Matt's face said it.
Let's be fair. That's what we knew, and we
knew.
weren't smart enough to know better.
No, and that's exactly it.
And then we learned better, and then we went back and we went, ew.
And then we're like,
do you like Kelly's or Il Vicino?
Oh, right. That was the two options back when we first moved here.
And
Tractor, actually.
Tractor's been around for a while, but
that's right. Santa Fe. Oh, who's? Wait, where?
There was Alien Amber.
Yes, where did they brew Alien Amber originally?
Moriarty.
No,
Carrizozo.
Albuquerque.
Nope.
Liquid Assets.
But it was,
Liquid Assets.
Liquid Assets was one of the originals.
Okay.
And
but that wasn't the original for Alien Amber.
Yes, it was.
No, sir.
Yes,
Carrizozo, New Mexico.
No. Maybe.
Okay. It was Sierra Nevada.
I'm sorry.
I lived up near
I was thinking
Estancia.
of the Isotopes.
Yeah.
The Isotopes was originally.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Alien Amber was my shit from.
But the Alien Amber and all that stuff was brewed in Carrizozo, and then they moved it to Moriarty. But then we're also missing out on Three Rivers out in Farmington.
So funny story about the guys out in Moriarty. My ex-husband and I lived in Estancia. He did all of his DWI paperwork in their tap room in Moriarty.
Which is hilarious, because if you go out to Moriarty, it's probably different now. But when they first moved out there and they were there for like a couple years, I used to go out there and do warranty work, and I'd be like, where's that brewery at? And they're like, everybody always do the same thing. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's still probably that way.
For as big as... I mean, because they're production-wise,
they do their beers. They do Monk's beers.
Yeah, they do a lot of beer. But nobody knows. I mean, they just recently did that beer garden. It's kind of a tap room esque thing. But
and they're the people who work in there are super nice.
Are they?
What's it, Weber?
I would never say anything bad then.
And they let my ex-husband do his DWI paperwork in there.
Interesting.
It was very nice.
No, they're
very
good.
That's fair. That's very fair of them.
I just remember thinking, like, is this a good choice? Like, you're not even supposed to be drinking right now. But
Oh,
okay.
it's fine. Just smell it. Just smell it. Just smell it.
If only he had gone to jail.
We weren't supposed to take beer to the SID meeting, but
We didn't go to jail, I'll tell you that day.
Well, I don't want
sure?
you guys
No
to go
one
to jail,
said
just that guy.
And the funny part about that whole thing is you can clearly tell, body language-wise, that the guy is just like, really? Really? But he's like just trying to be the coolest guy. And we were just like, we're ignorant. We're just ignorant.
I want to know the credentials of being an SID officer.
Yeah, we do too. I
think everybody wants to know what the credentials are.
Okay, so
every SID officer I've met has been like, I just don't even understand how you got this job.
What's
sir.
interesting though, so and the tides are shifting back.
Yeah.
But for the last 4 years, SID has actually been pretty cool.
Oh, it's actually going back to bad?
It's going well. The new director.
Oh.
The new director at the Alcohol and Gaming is kind of mean.
Oh, no. Should we shut up about that?
What is his degree in, though? That's what I want to know.
So, like, we were at this festival, and this guy's...
English literature.
He shows up in a San Diego Chargers jersey, and he's like...
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, what's up, bro? I'm like, hey, what up, bro? He's like, hey, can you sell me a growler? Or if you sell me a growler, can I drink it over there? I'm like, I don't think you can. He's like... Pulls out his badge. Actually, you can. And I'm here to educate you that you are allowed. Once they leave your tent, they're not, like, your alcohol premise is this tent. And once they leave, they're not your responsibility.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, you weren't trying to trick me and get me in trouble.
Oh.
You're trying to be a bro. Like,
That's
you're
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the director?
They never
No,
do
this
that.
wasn't the director, but this was an SID agent.
They
like,
never do that. They entrap you.
oh, they do, like, and that's the history
was
of all
gonna
the bullshit
say.
that they would try and pull.
They usually entrap you.
I
So-
had one SID agent in particular that straight up looked me in the eyes and said, "I'm going to get you one of these
Hey,
days."
by the way,
Yes,
if-
I've
I'm
had
gonna
that
get
too.
you.
I have had that too.
Tomorrow-
it's a very common thing. They're just like, I'm gonna get you.
Tomorrow when my bar shut down, can I have a job?
Yes, somewhere.
I mean, we don't pay well here.
You can clean
but
up the
sure.
weeds outside.
Perfect. I'm in.
So
I'm
you
in.
know how I don't like the police?
Chris, you don't...
I mean, I don't mean Stuart Copeland and
I would
Sting.
say
I like
you
them.
hate the police. You just have a bad rapport with the police.
Oh, I have a worse one with the SID people.
Oh, they're crazy.
They literally knocked on my door in Portales, New Mexico, and they said, "Do you live here?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And the lady goes, "Let me show you something." It was her and two police officers, you know, because they had nothing better to do than this. They brought me outside of my fraternity house. We walked over to the edge of the lawn where a can of beer was crushed. And she goes, "That's an open container." And I go, "Okay." She goes, "I can arrest you for that." And I go,
So's this.
"Okay." And she goes, "I can arrest you right now for that." And I was like, "I guess that's what we're doing."
Are we going there?
And she's like, "I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation." And I said, "Well, I think I do. You're here to apparently arrest me for a can that I didn't throw out on the lawn of my house. This is a main street in Portales. Could have been thrown out of a car. Could have been dropped by a pedestrian walking by. Who knows? But if you have to take me to jail for that, I guess I'm gonna go." Little does she know, my grandfather was a judge in that county, and I knew all the judges. But let's go. let's go to jail.
Right.
And she goes, "Well, I'm just gonna let you off with a warning this time." And I was like, "Fair enough. All right." And I never saw her again. And then she ended up getting arrested for forging evidence and planting evidence.
Oh, is that
And
surprising?
she's in jail, so fuck you. I didn't go to jail. I won. I'm here.
I don't think that surprises anybody who's been a bartender.
Right?
Because they are awful.
Yeah.
So, okay, I worked at Press Club. I was the assistant manager, and now that I'm gone, I can say things like what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
We had a bartender who is very beautiful, and she's very sweet. Not the brightest color in the box. And
Those are the
I
best
swear to
bartenders.
God, SID would choose to come in on her nights.
Always.
Every single fucking time. They met her one time, and they're like, "Oh, what's your schedule?" And she would be like, "Oh, well,
I'll post it for you on pizza."
They smell blood. They're all
right.
That's the
and
weekly.
she was the sweetest thing in the whole world. Like, I loved her so much. But good night. That girl was just vulnerable.
What? That's not the person you want facing SID.
No, and they asked her schedule. She told them.
Poor thing.
So we were a private club, which SID is not a big.
They're not.
They're
fans
not
of,
a big
no.
fan of.
No.
We were not only a private club. We were a grandfathered private club.
Original.
So we had a lot of rules that a lot of bars don't have. We had a lot of cool shit that other bars would love to have, but we got it because we were grandfathered.
Well,
they
like
wanted
what? I mean,
to shut us down.
What's an example of that?
So private clubs usually have like a cap on their memberships.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Private clubs usually have, I mean, there's just a lot of things. It's very complicated. It's very complex. And I've been drinking a lot of beer, so I don't know how to go into that. But they were after us all the time. So you make one mistake, they're like, "We're going to take your liquor license away."
They shut down Art Bar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's
They hate
very
private
easy,
clubs.
and it was very scary for the management team. They would literally go in only on the nights that she was working.
Oh my god.
So we had to coach her. Okay, if they come in, you be strict, you be tough. We thought we were going to shut down, but then I covered one of her shifts, and I was such an asshole. Like, when I met Ming Chen, okay, who we have had on the show.
You cut me off.
He was
Holly.
watching. He's actually
I
watching,
didn't
I
mean
think.
to.
No, you did. You should have, though.
He's watching, I think.
Oh, so Ming Chen came into the bar right at this time. I was covering a shift. I don't know if I was covering a shift when Ming Chen came in, but it was around this time. And we knew, like, SAD was watching us. So Ming Chen, who's a celebrity, walks into our bar. I was like, "Are you a member? I don't give a shit who you are. You either become a member or you're getting kicked out." I was so grateful one time because I covered this girl's shift and SID came in and they saw me and I saw them and I was like, "Oh, I know who you are. Oh, I know you." Because if you've been a bartender, you know when they walk in.
You can point them
And
out.
Also,
You're
he was
like,
running a San Diego Charger jersey.
I know you as two people. I know you as Holly, my friend, and Holly, the bartender. And you...
What is Holly the bartender like?
You're like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Ooh, no.
Ew, no. At Press Club, it was like, I literally always just had to be so strict.
Yeah.
Because we were on thin ice with
Absolutely.
SID. And
Yeah.
it's a fear because you're going to lose your job. People are, like, it's awful.
When I was on the board for the press club. And, you know, like when I first got asked, like, you want to do this? I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man, it's cool." So then I have, like, a high government clearance.
Yeah.
They made me still, even though I have all this stuff, I had to go in, I had to give them my fingerprints, and then sign all this paperwork that I was liable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So while I was on the board for those many months, if like they would have came in and like fuck it, or somebody would have drove home and gotten a car wreck, I was liable actually that whole time.
Yes,
And
the whole board was liable.
Whole board, and it was very unnerving. And so like whenever like they were like, "Are you gonna stay on the board?" I was like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
I want no liability. That was part of it, was the liability. I'm like, why do I want all this liability? What do I get out of this?
I haven't worked in food service for a while now, thankfully.
Yeah.
But the last job that I did work at, I would hear about my friends getting like, "Oh, hey, you know, we ran a sting on you. Congratulations, doing a good job." I'm like, I never had that. I had a dude that straight up said, "This is the 70th time I've tried to catch you. I'm gonna get you." And I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Like,
okay,
Right? We failed this time.
I will get you, James Smiley.
I remember he would come in like out of nowhere when I was working at the Blackbird. He'd send in during like the lunch rush, like a table that would become like, okay, 2 4-tops that would become an 8-top that would become a 12-top, and then he'd have them switch checks, and then he'd try to get it switched up to the point where they'd have 2 minors try to sell. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, you can pay for anything else except for the alcohol. I have to transfer that into a different. And he'd be like, "Curse you, James Smiley! We'll get you. Why are you trying to put me in jail?
And then he
what
pulled
do you
out
have
his
against
fake
me?"
face. And he was like,
I
"You
actually
rotten
want to
kids."
be the job
Like,
you have as a 16-year-old. It's like, oh god, like they're approaching me to like.
Yeah, they're like, you have a mustache. Come here. You look 21.
You're 16.
Facial
like,
hair. Let's do
we
this.
need you to like take down
what
the
they
The
do
guy
is
Smiley.
was pissed. The guy was pissed that he put up this whole elaborate thing to try to get me in jail, and I saw through it. And I'm like, what?
They don't like that at all.
No.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy goes to like the 7-Eleven, buys a 30-pack, and drives, and and they're like, "Fuck, they foiled us again. They're still drinking and driving."
What they do is they go find a police officer that's 20 and like has a mustache or whatever, and they'll send him in.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To buy
Because every
buy beer or
20-year-old
drink?
cop.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
That's how you can tell the cop is 20 years old, because he's got a mustache.
He's got a terrible, shitty mustache.
Yeah. Like, come on, get out of my bar.
Oh my gosh. I hate to say this, but we're at the end of the time.
No,
I always hate
I don't
when.
like
Yeah,
it.
I
That's
know,
fucking
I know,
bullshit.
I know.
Can we have Matt every week?
Right.
That's great. I love fucking Matt.
Matt, this is like, how many times have you been on the show? Like 5 times?
Like 20.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
And now he's a friend of my heart.
Okay.
I love you guys. Like,
I wish there was like some super fan out there that would just like do this for us. I want to know who's been on the show, because I know Sage Harrington has done this show like 6 times. I know Lauren Poole and Alex Knight have done it right around there. And I want to say you've probably done this show.
if you include remotes,
Yeah.
if you include remotes,
I do.
then I've done probably 7 or 8.
Does
Russell
that
Piles
mean?
in 4 times.
Oh, what about,
yeah.
what about Hobo Hank? He's been
Hobo
on here.
Hank's been on 3 times.
3
He's just been 3?
I have a question.
Okay.
So does that mean I've been your favorite guest of all time because you asked me to just be part of the show?
We just asked you to be. Holly, you want to do the show again this week with us?
They adopted
Randomly.
me?
I would say Sage Harrington is the.
No, he's done it 7 or 8. No, Sage is
3.
No, he's done 7 or 8.
Because we had the 24-hour or the
that's
marathon
right.
show.
That's right. He's been on the show.
Fuck, are we doing that again? We should do that again.
We should do that again.
marathon?
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but
Marathon.
I like it.
The fucking
What is
10-hour
it?
show.
I did. So
Like,
we did a.
Matt,
we
come
do
in for
it?
an hour. I'm like, fuck you. I'm coming
yeah.
in for like 20 hours.
So we did a marathon show to raise money to like just buy shit for the show, and we did a 10-hour 10-drink minimum, and we raised about $580.
We need to
10
do
hours
that
of 10
again.
drink.
I did all
Yeah.
10 hours.
I'll do
I'll
do
there
20
for
hours.
maybe 3
No.
hours.
I will do it.
I don't know.
Look at me.
Dude.
I'll do it.
Russell Pyle was actually the second. He's been on 3 times.
No. So Sage has been on like 6.
Yeah.
He's been on like 7 or 8. Hobo Hank's been on 3. Russell's been on.
There was a point where I asked
4 or
Chris
5.
if I could be an honorary member.
Oh, you are.
And I was like, I was honored when you said yes.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, but I've never been like, Matt, get over here. We're short a member. We've never had to pull that card.
I mean, you could pull that card.
I know.
And I'd be like,
He's like, I got a wife and kids, but
I'm
okay.
fucking wasted.
Wasted. Like your poor wife, I'd see her at work, and I swear she was like, you motherfucker.
Well,
No,
just
I'm just kidding. She didn't do that.
like, and I mean this. I don't like Chris. I got to go do this show with Chris, and she's
Yeah.
like, all right.
I guess you're gonna be drunk. I guess.
You're gonna be wasted.
I guess you're gonna be wasted when you get home. Cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I know we're running short on time.
Oh, we're fine. We'll
But-
go as long as we want.
Oh.
I just didn't want to cut her time.
You own the fucking show.
I know the guy who owns this place.
So
Did you say you don't want to cut my time?
Well, you have to. You have. Your,
I do. I have to
yeah.
go do the open mic, but I could leave,
Okay.
and you guys can keep going.
So last week's show, we were talking about kids at the bar,
yes,
Oh, you were watching.
and
you
I was watching.
Actually, watch our show. I love him.
No,
Okay.
you guys, I love you guys, and but what really made me ashamed is the night before I was at one of the local Albuquerque breweries that aren't mine with my kids, and I was that guy you were describing, where my kids were the ones that run it, and I'm yeah.
Where were you?
Tractor, Fort Hills.
Oh, it wasn't me. Okay, cool. I just was like, were you the one whose sticky kids were touching me? Because
my kids have no touch. I mean, generally speaking, they, but no, they're. But what was weird, I was with an acquaintance of mine.
Don't forget to ask for consent, Malachi.
He brought his kids, and he's like, meet me there with your kids. And he didn't give a shit about his kids. And I was in this mood where I just wanted to be drinking. So I wasn't paying attention to my kids. And, I was that parent.
So you're everyone I hated at a brewery.
Yes.
I love you, Matt.
No. I was that guy you hate. And I bring it because I'm
prepared to be that guy somebody hates
Thursday,
when I'm drunk.
This is the worst brewery kid situation I've ever been to. So Thursday, everybody knows I'm a huge Red Door fan. I go to Red Door. It's my cheers. I'm there all the time.
Which one do you go to?
I go to both.
Okay.
This is how
Candelaria
bad it is.
Actually the better one.
Everybody knows me at Candelaria and downtown. So I'm an alcoholic.
Wayne. So Wayne, the original brewer, was one of my favorite brewers in the town.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Rest in peace, Wayne.
Thursday.
Rest in peace.
So Thursday, Rick, who does the karaoke there, he had Rick Fest, which was to benefit cancer.
Oh.
His dad passed away from cancer.
I kind of don't feel like benefiting cancer is a good thing.
It is. Well,
okay. We should be fighting cancer.
Okay, if you want to get really specific, I beat cancer 3 times.
Did you?
I did.
Fucking
so I went, of course, because he was raising money for cancer research. It's a better way to put it. I get what you're saying. And so my friends and I...
She doesn't like me anymore. I'm
no,
sorry.
I do. I love you. So we're all sitting at the bar, and my friend is sitting at the end near the wall, okay? And this guy walks up, and he walks around my friend, and then he just picks up a little girl that we had no idea was sitting near us for God knows how long. And he was like, oh, sorry, I lost my daughter. And we're like, what is wrong with you? How? So at the end of the night, this guy, some social workers were there for Rick Fest to support cancer research. They were like, we're going to call Child Protective Services on you. Because his other kid was throwing up in the bathroom and he had no idea.
Oh my God.
So, please keep an eye on your fucking children.
There's no way I'm going to find this photo in a reasonable amount of time, but it's basically a picture of my kid bar backing for me.
I mean, that's fine. You knew where he was, though. You knew where he was. I was that kid. My dad was a bartender my whole life.
Uh-huh.
And I was a bar back. I learned how to make cocktails that way. But if people don't know that your kid is sitting in a corner of a bar and you pick your kid up and then all of the adults that are sitting there, we were like, oh God. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, was she bothering you? We're like, no, we didn't know your kid
but we were making
was there.
Dick cock jokes.
I mean, and we were.
Those old dick cock jokes.
It was me and Robert Eister.
You like pussy vagina jokes too?
No, it was so bad. We were making horrible jokes, and I even said to the dad, I was like,
horrible dick cock.
Oh yeah, dick cock and boob jokes and
you guys
vagina
jokes.
I mean, it's
dead baby jokes.
Boob tits.
I don't even know. So he picks this child up, and we're like, oh God, because it was 2 comedians just sitting there talking shit, and who knows what we said, and he just picks his child up, and we're like, oh God, and he's like, I'm sorry if she was bothering you. We're like, no, be a better parent.
Yeah,
we
don't
didn't know your
life.
kid was there.
This is for Ming Chen. I have a child.
I have a child. He will love that.
I see that scenario. I also see basically Frank from Hollow Spirits, who has a daughter.
His baby is so cute, but he always knows where his daughter is.
Oh, yes.
He's not a shitty parent because he knows where his daughter is.
Oh,
That's
I'm a
how
shitty
my
parent.
dad was.
So this is my girl at brewery camp.
Oh
my God.
This brewery camp, you
Every summer, my kids hang out at brewery camp.
Can I go to brewery camp?
So I don't. Okay, so I grew up in bars.
Yeah, me too.
I never grew up in bars.
My parents.
I went to the first bar when I was like 22.
Right.
Oh no.
I
was like in my first bar at like 6.
Nice.
They would let you in bars?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I
so
mean,
My
okay.
dad was a bartender.
I have to explain.
can't be
Let-
angry
let-
at that.
Did they card you
Yes.
when you went to the bar?
No. Let me explain. My parents were in the Fraternal Order of Elks.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
you go to the Elks Club, and there's a bar in the front, bar in the back. Blah. You go there for Easter egg hunts. You go there when your parents want to go out on a Saturday, and you get to put money in the jukebox, and it's fun. And then run around with your friends, because that's that was me when I was a kid growing up. I grew up in bars, and like
around cigarette smoke and around
crazy people getting drunk, cigarette smoke, drinking Shirley Temples, all the little whatever.
That's
but
me
I mean,
now.
but like growing up in that whole thing, like Holly maybe can attest this as well. I just have a different view on alcohol as a whole. I don't drink and drive.
Nope.
Well, I don't handle firearms when I'm wasted anymore.
Yeah. Not anymore. I have been educated.
But you'll handle a golf club.
Oh, I will handle a goddamn golf club when I'm wasted. There is nothing more fun than hitting a beer bottle with a golf club.
And you
wasted.
showed me that, and it was amazing.
It's amazing.
The most satisfying thing you can do.
And it shoots glass all over your lawn. Across the street from the elementary school that you live in. That was college for me. That's a whole nother show, though.
That's a whole other
that's
show.
fair. It's fair in a way because you grew up with that. The thing is,
I grew up with that too. My dad was a bartender.
You know how to hit you know how to hit a beer bottle with a golf club?
No, but I knew how to make
Is that a skill?
I knew how to make an aviator by the time I was 7.
Oh my god, we have to go do that at some point.
So here's a funny story though. When I was in high school, they sent home this questionnaire that you were supposed to do with your parents about alcohol consumption in the home. And it was like things like, are you embarrassed about your parents' drinking habits?
God. What? I have a story similar to this.
My dad,
yeah, I got that too.
My dad would drink 1 beer a year.
Okay.
But the way
and you
the
were
questions
embarrassed about that.
and I was embarrassed about it. So the way
Dad's a puss.
it's like your parents might be alcoholic. I'm like,
so
I'm one of the team.
When I was in high school, La Cueva High School had this whole thing where they made parents sign this thing that was like, we're never going to give our kid alcohol in our home. Like, we're never.
But they didn't make my brother sign it.
No. My dad embarrassed me because he was like, no, I'm not going to sign this. I want my daughter to know how to handle her alcohol. I want her to drink at home. I want her to be safe.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I want her to know how to handle life.
Responsible.
Being responsible. He's like, I would rather her learn in our home what it feels like to be wasted than to go to a frat party and just be like, well, I don't know.
Meanwhile, me and my friends were like, do you want to shotgun a beer in a police parking lot just to prove we can?
And here's the deal. My dad doesn't realize that he really set me up to just, 1, have a really high drinking tolerance. 2, I was like, guys, I'm not going to get in trouble as long as we don't get brought home by MIP.
Right.
Or what was it? Like the party patrol.
I forgot about
Yeah.
MIP.
And my dad was like,
bringing me back. Oh
as long as you don't get an MIP, like, I'm not going to crack down on your drinking. He was like, look, this is the age where you're doing this. Be responsible. Don't drive. Don't be an asshole. So we all went to a real estate office's parking
you told me about
garage.
this.
Yeah. And
responsible people do.
Like responsible
Don't drink,
do.
don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like I'm better off for that.
Yeah.
Because,
right.
I know what it's like to be wasted, and I don't do stupid shit. Well, Sometimes I do.
Is there still a task force? 'Cause I remember, like,
I don't
20
think
years
there
ago.
No, there's not. I've heard there's not.
Like the
I
party,
actually-
they carry
patrol.
big guns.
So I actually asked that question.
Yeah.
They don't
Good.
have the.
Party Patrol got sued out of
Yes.
commission on a class
So-
action lawsuit, which I was part of.
I don't
Thank
know
you,
anything
Smiley.
about the Party Patrol other than it existed. But I just want to know this is when they came in, were they like, Party Patrol, woo, get against the wall. Like,
You know
I
what
wanna,
was
and
funny?
they rip off their
So Party Patrol
Super
is pretty
Troopers.
much like a unconstitutional thing. The
Party's over.
cops come over
Yeah.
and they break up
it
a
was-
party.
They're done.
It was an Albuquerque
Party
police
Patrol.
department special task force that
Yes.
was assigned to crack down on
Underage
Underage
drinking.
drinking.
oh sure, yeah.
and
Like that's the big problem we have.
But-
I had a great
they
skill.
kind of took it a little too far.
They took it too far.
I would have been
like,
like,
way
what about
too
the
far.
underage
Way too
stabbing
far.
and shooting? Can we?
Yeah.
Can we
we
cure
do that?
too?
Is that
That's okay. Nothing to see here.
Underage
So I
armed
had
robbery.
a special skill, and all my best friends from high school, like, they loved me for this, is I would see that a party was getting too out of control, and I'd be like, we gotta go. And they'd be like, why?
That's
and I'm
fair.
like, Party Patrol is gonna show up. Let's go.
Do you
Let's
think?
We gotta
leave
go.
now.
So what's the criteria? So maybe 100 people?
Too loud. I don't even think it was about
Noise.
the number of people. It was like how stupid the people were acting. If your neighbors were gonna call the cops,
And when Chris,
not a good
If
idea.
the neighbors were at your party, you're good.
Yeah, if the neighbors came over,
Because I mean, that's part of it. Is it depends on the neighborhood.
So
you know,
in college, I had 7 neighbors sign a petition to have us evicted.
that's fair.
I've probably talked to more police than probably any people in this room, just because I threw 400 or 500 people parties
the proprietor of that house.
constantly. And so when I lived in Portales, we'd go to a party, cops would bust it, and as we're walking out, they'd be like, Mr. Burnett's. There you are. And the one guy
we
goes,
meet again.
the guy goes, is your major partying? And I was like, no. And he's like, doesn't matter. He's like, you're not going to last. I lasted 6 years, thank you. No degree.
a lot of people make it 7 years. Yeah,
They're
they're
called
called doctors.
Here I am, the person be calling the cops on you. It's like, oh my
Probably.
God, we're having
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're having a wine and cheese tasting, and
Oh.
these people are like,
I'll tell one story, and then we got to end.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
I gotta get to that open
So
mic.
when I lived on this house, at this house where they signed a petition to have us kicked out, so it snowed really heavily, and me and my roommate, we invited like our female friends to come over and build snowmen, and so me and my friend, we built a
Do
regular.
you wanna build a snowman?
Right, we built the regular like three balls, like the big bottom, the smaller medium, and then the super small head, blah blah blah. And we put a Sam
tiny
Adams
balls
beer.
into it.
We put a Sam Adams beer in its mouth, and it like had a little beer left in it, so it kind of like made it brown where it was like the mouth was, and it had arms. So the girls like they built like a 2 legs, a torso, and a head, and they couldn't get the arms built, but then it had a dick, right?
Of course it did.
And we're right there on 18th Street in Portales where there's all kinds of
I know
like, traffic.
exactly where that is.
So then the next day, the dick one was smashed. And we didn't know what happened. So months go by. The neighbors sign a petition to have us evicted. The people come over and they're like, yeah, we're evicting you. So what do? We see a sign across the street for a place to rent. We call them on the phone. I'm not making this up. This is really what happened. And then when the lady's there, we don't walk across the street from the house we're at. We actually drive up like we're coming from somewhere else. And we look at the place and we like it. All of a sudden, this old man is on the lawn. He's like, no, you're not moving in here. No. And like the lady's like, what's going on? And my roommate's like, I'll go talk to him. And he goes, they're not moving in here. We got rid of them over there. He's like, they built these snowmen. It had a penis. And he goes, the girls was out there shaping it. And he made the motion like this. And he goes, I had to knock it down before my wife saw it.
Well, if anybody's
And I
good
went-
at shaping penises, it's us women.
Yeah,
Right?
And all of a sudden,
You never want the penis shaped by a dude.
all of a
That's
sudden,
not realistic.
When he said I had to knock it down, I was like, "You did it," and he goes, "They threw parties. People had sex on my porch."
You did have sex on the porch.
People had sex on my porch? What?
Chris did. He did.
Know. That was. It wasn't. It wasn't me.
Sex on a porch?
I thought it was you.
Not on that porch.
You had sex on a porch. Not on that
porch.
You had sex on a porch?
Yeah, I was
No,
in
no,
college.
the thing
When else
is,
do you
like,
have sex?
But, I mean,
he knew about it because he was like
other
looking through the
places
blinders
besides a
in his fucking
porch.
window and saw people having sex on
There's
the
people
porch.
sex on the porch, and like.
We had sex in place uncomfortable.
Like I look
the
back,
of a
like I was
horse.
pissed. I was pissed we got thrown out, and I was pissed we got evicted at the time. But I look back on that, and I'm like, man, that was amazing. I got to write some of that shit down for a memoir. That's gonna be pretty amazing.
And you're like,
somewhere.
I need to start a podcast.
I should start a podcast where I tell those kind of stories.
Chris, can I have sex on your porch?
You sure can.
Okay.
I don't care. So we're at the end of that. Unfortunately, we're at the end.
Unfortunately, Chris has to go have sex on his
I have
porch.
to go have to have some porch sex, like like you do after shaping a penis with a snowman. But
just like this.
So
and then he capped the top. just like this.
If you like Matt Simonds on our show, you should go check out his brewery and distillery. You have one at Green Jeans Farmery. It's called Broken Trail Brewing and Distilling. So they can at Green Jeans they can only get alcohol.
Only hard alcohol.
Okay.
If you want the beer, go to Uptown.
Uptown.
I recommend Uptown. Parking's better.
Uptown is
Yeah.
better.
really cool.
I
now.
like Uptown.
We love the corner mall.
Do you play
Yes.
Uptown Girl on a loop? Uptown
Oh,
Girl. Like everybody hates it so much.
Uptown. And then like Billy Joel sends me a cease
And then
desist
coming
order.
soon, you're gonna have a new. So is your newer, bigger place? Is it gonna have a tasting room or no?
The thing is,
very top secret, like only invitation only.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do we get an invitation?
You guys have a studio there.
Yes.
Oh.
the new place
Were you
should
not
be
paying
on the
attention?
west side.
Oh, I mean, I was, but I
didn't understand what the west
scared.
side was until I was there.
No, he said it's gonna be over here.
Over here?
Thank God.
And don't you dare say you like the west side now.
Bellamont on 12th Street.
You'll get
We
stabbed.
will
shit.
lose it. It's
Yeah.
bad enough that I live in the Northeast. It's-
And then Holly Ann, what do you
The
got
west
going
side
on?
is the worst.
I have.
Sorry, the west side is the worst.
It is. I have a show at Moonlight Lounge on 420. I will be telling jokes about 420 things. And then I also have a show on 427 with Robert Eister and Royal Wood. It's produced by Ramiro Garcia. He just survived a huge car crash, and it's to raise
damn.
money for his family.
That guy.
Yeah, his dad passed away and he got injured. So it's to raise money for his family, and he's
That's
such a
rough.
great guy. And then May 2nd through the 5th, I will be at the Southwest Chief Comedy and Bicycle Festival. I will be performing 2 times a day at that comedy festival, plus doing the podcast with all these beautiful people, May 2nd through 5th. In Trinidad, Colorado. If you go to my Instagram, there's a link in my bio, and if you use coupon code BYRD comedy, you will get 50% off, half off of your passes and or tickets.
They're gonna go next up on stage. Holly Ann Bird will be all, not again, and that'll be
Oh God, why?
and that'll be the first show.
And some as yet to be determined shows.
Yeah.
Yes, and some we will just follow me on Instagram. You can go on my website, hollybird.com.
You're pretty good about posting it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about promoting things.
Yeah, better than we are.
My followers hate me.
No, they don't. Bill, you said you have some stuff coming up.
April 25th, next weekend, I'm playing Moonlit Lounge with the King Dude, like touring bands, all touring bands. And
King Dude.
I know them.
King Dude, yeah. So you know them?
Interesting. All right. That's next weekend. So then also May 2nd to the 5th, we will also be at Southwest Chief Bicycle and Comedy Fest. We will be doing a podcast live from a funeral home.
Yes, a funeral home. It won't be creepy at all.
They said it's going to be on Twitch. I was like, oh, cool. Whatever.
People are dying to
people
get
on
in.
Twitch are apparently really mean. I don't want to do it.
Nah, we've been on Twitch for a while. We did it for a while.
Eyeliner.
No one ever said shit to us. So that's what we have coming up. I'm sure we'll have some live shows coming. I'm sure we'll do Hem Fiesta. I'm sure that's all coming up. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Matt Simonds, for coming on the show. Other than that, we are
10 drink minimum.